No, Tom Curry, Ben Curry, Ben Earl, very combative, love the contact area, great players, and you can see with the bench as well. We know where they're coming today, but I think with the Wales' back row of Aaron Wainwright, Jack Morgan, and Taulupe Faletau, they got an X factor about them, and I think Jack Morgan has been almost hero-like over this Six Nations. Wales have had some heavy defeats. And you could be questioning, could this guy still be man of the match? Because he's been that good. And I think that's where it's going to be key. But I think if we can win that back row battle, that'll decide a lot of the game today. And I think we've got the quality there to match a great England back row. But I think that's where the battle is today. And I think we've got enough there.
Yeah, and just sort of moving on a little bit with that back row, from England's perspective, you're talking about Cunningham South, Pollock, Willis, right? Oh yeah, really good players, form players. They might have to get on this pitch and win the game for England. That is a massive ask. Other than just running around and poaching ball and supporting lines and making big hits, yeah, okay. But they might have to come on and win the game. And if I was in the Welsh camp, you'd be looking at that thinking, yeah, okay, again, if we're in the game, when England want to make changes, it's a very different proposition than being 10 or 12 points up and, oh my goodness me, here comes Chandler Cunningham South and here comes Tom Willis trucking the ball up and Pollock's running around like a madman with his blonde hair bobbing about and having a debut of his lifetime. It can very quickly, that you can be the other end of the scale there.
Because a young lad could look exactly like Chandler Cunningham South in Dublin. What a great example. Comes on, all energy, mistimes it in the air against Hugo Keating, field position. When the game is in the balance, you cannot make mistakes, can you? You've got to be so super sharp. So Pollock's going to have to come on and show all the energy, but maybe if it's tight, be super clean as well. And that's tough for a debutant.
Yeah, well, it's tough for all of the bench. Jamie George, massive influencer there on the bench. You'd expect him to be coming on and doing what he's done for England off the bench at the beginning of his career as well as towards the end of his career. But for everybody, and George Ford, of course, but there's 6 others there that I will categorically tell you, if Wales are ahead and they get a tap on the shoulder that they're going on, their head is spinning, fully spinning about what are they going to do. And if they go down the line of Cunningham South against Ireland and just, well, I'm going to go and smash someone, or then they've got it horribly wrong. It's got to be much more strategic.
And just if you're joining us, Ireland beat Italy by 22 points to 17. They got to try bonus point, but they didn't improve their points difference enough to get past England's points difference, which means any win for England, who have 15 match points, takes them level with Ireland on 19, and their points difference will be better than Ireland. So, and I do think this is really important, Ken. We were talking in the week about how England set up. Do they need to score tries? Will it be an arm wrestle? Who wants an arm wrestle? Because these games of late, England-Wales, have been filthy arm wrestles, haven't they? They haven't been free-flowing games like a Calcutta Cup. But at least England know that if they do go and just have a really strategic game and execute, they don't need to worry about racking up the tries. So it puts real pressure on this as being a win or lose, do or die kind of match without any other permutations.
Yeah, I think, I don't think it'll change much from England, because I think when I heard Martin Johnson and yourselves talking this morning, if you go into a game going, right, we have to score X amount of points, that's when things start to go wrong. You start overplaying, making poor decisions. I think you've got to go out to win the game first, get that W, and then you can build from there, then go in the points. And I think it will change the mindset slightly with not needing to chase the points, but from a team point of view, they'll just be concentrating. We got to go out there and win and get the W first and then build from that. I think something perhaps Ireland didn't do against Wales. I thought thought it was just going to happen, and then they got caught into an arm wrestle. Wales played really well, and that's probably started their whole campaign. But I remember in 2013 we were in a similar situation. England coming in for the Grand Slam, but we had to win by 8 points to take the championship. So we had that in our heads. We knew I'd win by 8 points, but realistically, an 8-point swing in a Wales-England test match is a big ask. And we got to win this game. Win the game first and build from there. Luckily, it went really well by the end of it.
Won by 27, yeah.
But do you know what I mean? But the mindset has got to be,
sure,
we're going out there to win first, and then we'll build after that.
The voice of Ken Owens here on 5 Sports Extra. Matt Dawson with us as well. The flags are out. The band is lined up on the 15-metre line. The choir ready to do their bit, with the players due out of the tunnel any moment now. The atmosphere building magnificently around the Principality Stadium. Oh, the atmosphere building, Deno. What a place to be on Wales-England Day. Almost every single fan has taken their seat. The band ready to strike up. The choir's in position. The flags are out. The players on their way, as you say. 10 minutes to go as the lights dim at the Principality. So just updating our listeners on 5 Live, we'll have the whole game here on Sports Extra. If you are bouncing in between 5 Live and Sports Extra, catching the end of the 3 o'clocks with Deno and the team, we'll be updating them for the first few minutes while they finish the 3 o'clocks, and then we'll be over on 5 Live. But if you're listening to us here on Sports Extra, you will not miss a thing on 5 Live, Sports Extra, BBC Sounds, and Matt Dawson. Talk to us about this. I mean, I know this is a Welsh rugby nation that's been in the doldrums of late, 16 straight defeats, but they're putting on a show here with 10 minutes to go.
They always do, Chris, don't they? Always put on a fantastic Six Nations party. But it's been a while. You tell me, when was the last time an Wales-England game was under the roof? I feel like it's been a while. And it makes a huge difference. Flamethrowers everywhere, fireworks, lights, razzle-dazzle, dragons draped across the field. Loving it.
Wish you were out there, Ken?
No, because my body couldn't take it. You've got to know when to call it. But no, these are the days where you played rugby and went to, playing in great stadiums, great atmospheres. I'm happy to be this side now to actually experience this, because seeing some boys being in changing rooms, I missed all that. You miss the atmosphere. It's just a fantastic competition, a fantastic atmosphere here.
Yeah, do you get the sense when you're in that changing room, Ken, when you're in the tunnel, do you know what it feels like for everyone around the stadium? What's going through your mind? Are you able to soak up this brilliant atmosphere?
You do. As soon as you get out of that changing room, you can start hearing the noise, start hearing the atmosphere, and it's and even though it's sunny outside, it's dark here. I'm probably really biased, but this is the best stadium to play rugby at in the world, and I think it's probably to Wales' detriment at times, because the opposition teams love coming here to play because of the challenge that's laid down, the atmosphere that's here. And it's a fantastic occasion. You can already sense something's happening today. Not sure what it's going to be yet, but you can see, and it's good. It's good to have that optimism as a Welshman.
What's the feeling in your bones, Matt Dawson? By the way, Will Stewart out for his 50th cap. He's getting his moment. He's just led the England team out now. Maro Itoje follows with Jack Morgan as the players come out the tunnel.
Yeah, nice moment for Will Stewart to celebrate, and he looks around to try and soak it up.
Wow. Listen to that noise.
Yeah, this is just, from an England perspective, this is just the first taste of it. You're running out thinking, oh wow, this is a little bit different. Just you wait until Wales get the ball and they break a tackle, or a little rolling ball, get a nudge on. They're going to experience something different. What I'm looking for, Chris, I'm looking for a half a dozen of those England players to be properly inspired by this occasion and lead England to a win. It doesn't need to be by any amount of points. It's just the leadership, the inspiration has to come from a certain few individuals.
Yeah, one of them no doubt will be Maro Itoje, the England skipper, 93rd cap for the Saracens Titan. The anthems are to come, but a poignant moment first, as we will remember the Llandau air disaster, a moment of silence to mark the 75th anniversary of that tragedy on the 12th of March in 1950. So the England anthem and the Wales anthem to come, but first the players lined up, linking arms, and everyone around the stadium will stand for a moment of remembrance for those affected by the Llandau air disaster.
Please join me as we take a minute of silence of remembrance to be started and ended by the referee's whistle. was the mark of the 75th anniversary of Lando, and remember those lives lost. Diolch yn fawr.
The light still dimmed in the Principality Stadium, the roof shut. It's a lovely spring afternoon up there, but you wouldn't know it. It's a dark cauldron at the moment, as England in their white tracksuits and Wales in their black with their white shorts and red socks line up on the 5 metre line. Here's the band, and God Save the King. Good noise from the travelling England contingent in the Principality Stadium, but it won't compare to what's coming next. Here's Land of My Fathers. The lights back on. Matt Dawson, you gave that anthem a round of applause.
That is, if you're into sport, that's one of the moments in sport you have to experience, Ken. That's incredible.
No, it is, and it hasn't been like that for a long time here, so it's brilliant. When you asked earlier, do I miss it? That's probably the only thing I miss. You're standing there singing the anthem. It's always a proud moment for me, and to hear it sung like that is incredible.
The voice of Ken Owens with Matt Dawson here on 5 Sports Extra, BBC Sounds, and with 5 Live in a moment. Let's rattle through the two teams while we can. Wales line up Nicky Smith, Elliot Dee and Will Griff-John. Will Rowlands and Dafydd Jenkins in the second row. Aaron Wainwright in for Tommy Reffels at 6. Jack Morgan, the skipper, at 7. And Talupi Faletau. Would you believe Faletau, the only survivor from the starting 15 2 years ago? The only survivor.
It's incredible, really.
So only 2 years ago, and the whole starting 15 has changed.
And that's probably been a lot of Wales's problem over the last number of years since the World Cup, is the consistency in selection, and that's been for a lot of reasons. Obviously players retiring, injuries, you know, and it's been a difficulty, but I didn't realise that. One player in 2 years, but that's where we've been, and I think we're a bit more consistent. We've had a similar team over the last 3 games, and hopefully that'll come to the fore today.
The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are here. Everyone is in the house. The back line, by the way, for Wales: Thomas Williams, Gareth Anscombe, 9 and 10. Ben Thomas and Max Llewellyn in the midfield. Joe Roberts, unfamiliar, on the wing. Ellis Mees on the other wing, and Blair Murray at fullback. England are Ellis Genge, Luke Cowan-Dickie, Will Stewart on his 50th. Maro Itoje, Ollie Chesham in the row. The Curry boys are at 6 and 7, Tom and Ben. Ben Earls at 8. Alex Mitchell and Finn Smith, who's about to kick off. They're really hunched together, England. Fraser Dingwall, Tommy Freeman. Elliot Daly, Tom Roebuck, Marcus Smith. As referee Nick Berry says to Finn Smith, let's go to work in Cardiff. And Finn Smith kicks England from left to right, all in white, taken in by Ben Thomas, with Wales in their traditional red. The Six Nations, the penultimate game of this fascinating and compelling championship. Ireland beating Italy, but not racking up the points. It means any win for England will take them past the Irish and will put pressure on the French. So England's predicament is crystal clear as Smith gathers in a slightly scruffy kick from the box, from the base by Thomas Williams, and that's a decent counter-attack from the England 15. Alex Mitchell out to Ellis Genge, one of the players who has good experience in Cardiff, but plenty of Principality Stadium rookies. One of them is Finn Smith, who looks crossfield for Roebuck. That's on the money, taken by Roebuck. He's well tackled by Joe Roberts, but England have it just below us, halfway line, 15 metres in. Ben Earl wearing number 8, one of the many players looking to impress Andy Farrell, the watching Lions coach. But first things first, it's getting the job done for your country, as Mitchell finds Will Stewart. Swing Low Sweet Chariot, decent rendition from the travelling fans. Offside against Wales. Finn Smith's kick is easily gobbled up by Blair Murray, but there is a penalty, Matt Dawson, as England start by keeping the ball nicely, and they'll have a chance, if Finn Smith fancies it, to go into the lead.
Yeah, I mean, you take 3 points all day long. Even their attempt just to put Wales under their posts or put them under pressure, England have got to go for 3, surely. They're not going to the corner. The enormity of this game, taking the sting out of it. Wales, Ken, they're just happy to get in the defensive line. They played very cutely there with the way they defended.
No, they did. They went a good exit from Thomas Williams, putting length in it, and they look very comfortable in defensive. Finn Smith looking to get the crossfield kick and move it around.
England are pressing nicely. They've just kicked to the corner. Then 2 minutes gone. Wales nil, England nil. But what an opportunity for England. 5 metre line out. Remember, any win for England takes them past Ireland to the top of the Six Nations table. Cowan-Dickie to throw into the line out. 5 metres out, England. They win it through Itoje. And now they peel away. Here goes Tom Curry. They're up to the line, England. What a start from the visitors. They pick and go. They are inches short. Alex Mitchell leaves it for Itoje, who scores. The captain leading from the front, and that is a dream start for England. When we talk, Matt Dawson, about the crowd and the atmosphere and the energy, England have gone and scored after 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, penalty for England. There's me saying go for 3 points all day long, but you can't allow. What a brilliant touch-finding kick from Finn Smith, right down to the 5 metre line. That's what made it.
England have scored. Maro Itoje took the line out, then he set it up, and then he was the guy who got over the line at the end. What a dream start for England. We speak about this Cardiff crowd. What a way to take them out of it. Finn Smith looking to convert. Wales nil, England 5. Smith 7. Wales nil, England 7, Deno. Right, nudged by Finn Smith. Sorry, going back and forth with 5 Live there. Where were we? Matt Dawson.
I was just talking about that kick from Finn Smith out of hand, the penalty. I mean, it was on the cross of the 10 metre and 15 metre in on the 10 metre line. He pumped it, drilled it down 5 metres from the Welsh line. Absolutely brilliant. And it's just taken the sting out of the game, just as England required.
No, it has. It's disappointing from Wales. Great start by England. Backed themselves, put it to the corner. 5 minutes. It was a little bit too easy for me for England there.
Down by White.
100%. England have just gone and done that nicely. But that is exactly it, Matt Dawson. Why Finn Smith is in this 10 shirt. Marcus Smith, I don't think, puts that to 5 metres. The length of his kick, his line kicking just isn't quite up there, and compared to Finn Smith, even though Finn of the Smith variety is the much more inexperienced player. Alex Mitchell, Finn Smith's clubmate, sends it into the box. England will tap it back, bit scruffy actually, so Wales will get the line out. Yeah, they do, Ken. Line out Wales. This is a decent set piece opportunity for the Welsh.
I suppose staying in the game for Wales now, not backing up errors, first opportunity. Just interested to see how Wales play and how they try and mix it up. The starter plays have been good the last couple of weeks, and it's just about getting a foothold in the game now.
They throw into the line-up, they win it through Wainwright. Thomas Williams brings in Ellis Mee, the youngster, age 21, third cap for the Scarlet. But they've given a penalty away. England all over it on the floor, and it looks like Ben Earl's done the job there. England penalty. They snuffed out that Welsh attack very easily.
Yeah, not good enough. Set play. Wales looking for the ball off the front, ball off the top, but it was at the front. Long old pass from Thomas Williams, the scrum half. Of course, England are licking their lips saying, go on then, what are you going to do from there? Truck it up, easy ball for the likes of Curries and Earl.
From a set play like that, you got your guys who are designated to clear the ruck there, and they'd be disappointed not to have done their job.
It was another terrific line kick from Finn Smith. How good is he at those kicks to touch? And I think, yeah, it looks like England have thrown it squint or something. Yeah, that wasn't straight, was it, from Cowan-Dickie to Chesham? So Wales do get the line out in between the 10 and the 22. 15 minutes in for touch. 5 sports extra from the BBC. Wales 0, England 7. 5 and a bit minutes gone.
Well, this is made for the man on my right hand side here. Ken, give us all the insight you can on what the first set piece is going to be like.
You'd like to think there's a bit of talking, a bit of banter going back and forth. I was one never partook in that. I used to enjoy being silent, but going back to a couple of weeks ago when Wales played Ireland, they won the first couple of scrums, which gave them a foothold in the game and they could build from it. The scrum was good up in Scotland last week, and this is a massive part of the game, so I'm sure England will be going, we need to dominate the set piece here today, we need to win the physical battle. So this is a massive facet of the game.
England's scrum has been nice and clean this Six Nations, not been destructive as it does, but it's been pretty accurate. Tom Harrison, the scrum coach, is gradually building a pretty solid England set piece. Genge 71st cap, Cowan-Dickie 49th, Stewart 50th. I mean, that is a lot of experience in that front row, and when you've got that many caps, you've really got to make it count. Five Live joining us shortly, with Forest beating Ipswich 4-2 in our featured game with Ian Dennis and Paul Robinson. As Wales do win the free kick, what's happened there, Ken?
By the look of it, from where we are, I think it was a bit of a hit and chase, and Nick Berry's made a decision early on, I think, because he doesn't want to be hanging around scrums. But it looks as if England done a bit of a hit and chase there. You know, as an area of the field, you do try and risk something, but something will be in the ref's mind now going forward.
Wales put up a Gary Owen, which is taken by England. They couldn't go straight to touch. I mean, they could have gone straight to touch. Well, they were outside their 22, so they would have gone out on the full. So the only option was to whack it in the air, and that's what Anscombe did. But England have taken it, and now Alex Mitchell pops up a box kick. Up goes Blair Murray. Daly's done really well to tap it back. A bit messy, and Wales are onto it, and they're away through Blair Murray. Murray's going to score. I think he's in. Blair Murray has scored for Wales. Just as you join us, Wales have scored in. England put up a kick. They won the tap back, but it fell to Blair Murray, and Murray has raced in from 40 to get Wales on the board. Matt Dawson's wondering if there'll be a TMO check. Maro Itoje has gone over to the officials to ask just that. They will check whether there was any kind of knock-on or offside, but if this stands, Wales are on the board and they have a chance to cancel out that Itoje try with one of their own.
Yeah, they will have a look. Nick Berry's just having a chat with Maro to say, just get out of my face for a moment so I can just check this. Big calls to be made. Initially, it looks like it came off Elliot Daly, but it may well have hit the shoulder. Possibly has hit.
Oh, it's his face.
The white hand
his face.
and then the red head.
Well, surely that's play on, is it?
Play on.
Have a knock on. Okay, but then it's not. And then we'll check for offside now.
Try's going to stand because it's Murray who went up for it, so he can't be offside because he's chasing his own
header.
His own header.
I think they're looking at Thomas Williams perhaps interfering in front of the ball here.
Ah, good spot, Ken.
So the white players
should be a
deliberately
referee, I
played
think.
the ball,
You should.
intentionally played the ball,
Let's listen
making
in.
everybody on site.
That's a really, really interesting observation, Ken, because if Thomas Williams, he is offside, isn't he? But it's whether he's made enough of an impact. Blair Murray, he chased his own header, and I think this might stand, but England will certainly question whether Thomas Williams got involved. Let's just...
9, yeah.
Here we go.
Mikey, we just need to make sure because 9's in front there before 15 picks it up.
Yeah, so
Has he
they're
had an
listening
impact
to
on
our
play?
commentary, I think.
After it's hit the head of red 15.
Yeah, so the
I think there's a
player
split
is
second
in
there, isn't there,
front.
when Tom
The
Curry...
white player has intentionally played the ball. The decision is, has the red player had an impact on the white player's ability to play how he wants to play?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that Thomas Williams has obviously thought that's come off Elliot Daly,
So my
it's
decision
play on,
would be
but it hasn't.
he has had an impact because he's in an offside position, putting pressure on players.
Okay.
So no try.
So
also.
it's not going to be given because, as you spotted, Ken Owens, it's come off the head of Blair Murray. He's onside, but because it's hit a Welsh
From
player,
right,
Thomas Williams is
touch his hand,
offside.
go back for a scrum.
Although his impact,
Okay, back on me.
he has
Right,
caught
yes.
Tom Curry after Curry lost the ball.
Yeah, that's
but he
very
has
true.
still made a play for it.
Correct.
No, it's not a try.
Yeah, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
I don't think he affected
Yeah, it's
Tom
not
Curry
knock-on.
dropping that ball at all, but he has
All right,
made
Mikey,
a movement
so
from an offside
it's touched
position.
15's head, so there's no knock on, but 9 red is in front of the man who last played the ball. He's had an impact on play, so it'll be a no try. We'll go back for the original knock on by White.
Well, listen to the Cardiff crowd. You know what they think of it. That's a tough one to call there, Ken.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
No, it is a tough one, but it is the right decision. I don't think Thomas Williams had a
It's
massive
on the
impact
50-metre line, 3
on
metres
Tom
inside
Curry,
England
but at the end of the day,
Okay,
England half.
he has made an
3 minutes
impact.
here, guys.
Okay, it's going to be a scrum because
guys,
the
it's
first
gonna be a
offence
red.
was
It was originally
Elliot
knocked on by
Daly's knock-on.
White.
We've got
Red-
full-timer
red
at the Etihad. Man City against Brighton. Chris Coles.
It's finished 2-2, Chris. Great game. Haaland's penalty and Marmoush's fine strike for City. Estupinan's free kick and Husanov's own goal for Brighton. Both sides missed excellent chances to win it. Manchester City 2, Brighton 2.
Both sides missing a chance to win it. Similar story at Goodison, Lee Blakeman.
West Ham 1, Souček's opener cancelled out by O'Brien's late header. Everton unbeaten in 9 now. Everton 1, West Ham 1.
And as Southampton's misery continues. Southampton Wolves, John Southall.
It does. Southampton 1, Wolves 2, 1-0 at half-time. Strand Larsen then added a second just after the break. Southampton showed spirit. Paul Onuachu pulled one back to no avail. 9 home league defeats on the trot for Southampton. Big win for Wolves, 9 points above the relegation zone. Southampton 1, Wolves 2.
Nice one, John Southall. Before him, Lee Blakeman and Chris Cole. So all of our 3 o'clock Premier League games are finished. As we heard from Ian Dennis and Paul Robinson, Ipswich 2, Nottingham Forest 4, Everton 1, West Ham 1, City and Brighton 2-all, Southampton 1, Wolves 2, England penalty at the scrum. Oh, this game swings, doesn't it? Ken Owens, Test rugby, the momentum. Wales thought they'd scored, they haven't scored. Scrum England or scrum Wales, and England win the penalty from that Welsh put-in.
Like we said just before, England's scrum hasn't been destructive this campaign, but it has been solid, and I think it was one of them moments the English boys have realised we need a moment here. They got a free kick in the first one. You could just see Ellis Genge and Luke Cowan-Dickie going after Will Griff-John and forcing him up there, and they'd be really happy with themselves there. Ben Earl screaming and shouting and celebrating, which is always great for a front row to see.
Oh, what a swing, because if Wales had got on the board, this place would be going nuts. Instead, it's England. Decent truck up from Elliot Daly, of all people. England got the penalty. They're going to better their lead at least with a penalty they can bang over from straight in front, but they want more. Finn Smith, nice wide ball. Tom Roebuck might be into the corner on his first start. He is! Oh, another try for England. What a finish from Roebuck on his first Six Nations start. He's punching the air. England fans all around us on their feet. And when Wales thought they had scored, instead it is England who have a second to go 12-0 up at the Principality.
God, talk about out of the blocks, England. Everything they have done has been accurate. It's been at pace. The decision making is direct. Elliot Daly on that crash up ball. Elliot Daly, I'll say it again, on the crash up ball. It's direct, running into gaps. The rucks are quick. Wales have got to change the way they defend at the ruck time, Ken, because they are giving far too easy a ruck ball.
It's very difficult when you're crossing the gain line. To be fair, what's making it is England's clean out guys. They're in there, they're sharp, they're getting that ball exposed, giving it to Mitchell on the plate. And Finn Smith's accuracy of his pass there, and for Roebuck, that was outstanding finish. He shouldn't really have scored that, but he finished brilliantly. Flamer, he will be disappointed. Had an opportunity to knock him into touch, but a great finish from England.
Great finish, Roebuck. You mentioned Finn Smith's kicking. He's banged over the conversion from the touchline. England lead by 14. Full-time commentary, Tom Gale.
Coventry 3, Sunderland 0. Hosts up to 5th. Haji Wright hat-trick, 1 from range, a penalty and a cheeky dink. Sunderland remain 4th, their heaviest defeat of the season. Full-time, Coventry 3, Sunderland 0.
Nice one, Tom. The revolution under Frank Lampard continuing apace at Coventry. Here at the Principality Stadium, Wales 0, England 14. Masterclass so far from Steve Borthwick's men, Matt Dawson.
It's just been such a good draw. I mean, we know England can be really good out the blocks, but this is taking it to a new level. Very disciplined. I mean, it's the tiny detail that England are getting right, whether it's the kick to touch and going for the extra meterage, or as Ken had just said, the passing is right out in front. It's picking the right person. The clear out is just perfect. It's just, how long can Wales hang on?
Well, Wales have a penalty, and Ken Owens, Gareth Anscombe might need to go quite deep. He's done okay there into the 22. Wales have to reply. Let's quickly nip to Plymouth and Amos Marshall.
It's Plymouth 2, Derby 3, a result that gives Derby a real chance of survival. It surely ends Plymouth's hopes of staying in the Championship. Marcus Harner with a winner with 2 minutes of normal time to play.
Nice one, Hamish. OK, Land of My Fathers all around the Principality as Wales win the line out through Will Rowlands, and now they attack through Ben Thomas in centre field. They trail by 14. They've got to give this crowd something to get into the game. England have 2 tries and they lead by 14 points to 0. As Thomas Williams comes to the right, that's loose. Wainwright's on the touchline. He picks it up off his shoelaces nicely and drives into the 22. Heritoje has to duck as he was in the way. Anscombe to Elliot Dee. Elliot Dee well tackled in the midfield. But Wales a bit behind the gain line here as Rowlands drives on, still short of the 22 in centre field. Gareth Anscombe, there's not much shape there for Wales, and he's held up there, Anscombe. Freeman's in there, and this is going to be an England scrum. They weren't really going anywhere with that attack, Wales, and it is a scrum to England because they weren't able to get that ball back, Wales. And so England have snuffed out that attack. Just to recap those Premier League scores from a moment ago. Everton 1, West Ham 1, Ipswich 2, Nottingham Forest 4, Man City 2, Brighton 2, Southampton 1, Wolves 2. And in the Championship, Millwall 1, late winner for Millwall, 1, Stoke 0, QPR 2, Leeds 2, QPR finishing with 10 men. Blackburn 1, Cardiff 2, Coventry 3, Sunderland 0. We were hearing from Tom a moment ago. Luton, Middlesbrough goalless. Oxford 1, Watford 0. Plymouth 2, Derby 3, as Hamish was telling us all about. Preston 2, Portsmouth 1, Swansea 0, Burnley 2, and West Brom and Hull finished 1-1. England scrum 5 metres in on their own 22.
And just yet another another phase for England to get absolutely spot on. Exit play, you feel is at the moment it's been a little bit too good for England. Everything has gone their way. They look strong in the line out. They look like they had the edge in the scrum. Another scrum goes down. And we've got the Ken Owens style now. This is more like it.
It's good to see that Wales need something in this game. We're not going to see too many handbags or fisticuffs here, but it's good to see that passion from Wales. Not something, I think it was Ollie Chesham and Aaron Wainwright there disagreeing on something, but you want to see that bit of passion in the game. Like you said, England have got everything right so far. Their first big defensive set there, and they're physical, they're confrontational on that gain line, and they get a scrum.
And England are defending actually very similarly to Wales. They're not gambling on it. If there's a hint of a jackal, they're not bothering. If it's really obvious, they're going in to win the ball. But England are just putting the white wall across.
As always, we're right across the sporting world here on 5 Live, all the way with Wales, England, and then we'll join the second half of Bournemouth against Brentford in the Premier League. And of course, we'll be live in the Stade de France tonight with Sarah and Fraser Brown. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff. France against Scotland. And talking of Scotland in the Premiership today, Hearts 2, Ross County 0, Kilmarnock, Hibernian 1-1, Motherwell 2, St Mirren 2. Don't think that's quite finished yet. And St Johnstone 0, Aberdeen 0. The scrum had a couple of resets. England winning this scrum battle, Ken. Wales just can't seem to read the ref. They've given another free kick away.
No, after the first one, where England, I think, tested Nick Berry to have a look, and they got the free kick. They just can't seem to get a grip, so they can't get settled on their setup. And they're going to have to sort that out, because I think the longer this goes on, it's going to give England a different foothold into the game, and Wales have got to counter it.
And Wales can't win the line out. England get to it. It's all going England's way here at the Principality Stadium. Roebuck's off his wing, buzzing after that try. Down the line from Dingwall, Tommy Freeman, first start in an England shirt at outside centre for the Northampton man, who himself is on the verge of English rugby history. No one in Six Nations history has scored a try in every game. Freeman's got 4 in 4. England have 2 already, Itoje and Roebuck on his first start. As Finn Smith sends it high, Blair Murray, who had a try disallowed a moment ago, he takes it cleanly. But can Wales put some kind of rugby together? No, they can't. It's loose, and Ben Thomas is going to have to clear this, and Wales look a little bit rudderless at the moment as Chesham almost levels Thomas. He spun up the tackle, but Ken Owens concerning the lack of structure in the Welsh play.
I think you've got to give credit to England. They're pressurising Wales. They haven't had extra numbers to the rucks, because there's good decisions being made by England, putting pressure on. And when you come under pressure, it's do you stand up or do you make, or what do you do? And at the moment, it's England putting the pressure on Wales, and they're not sure where to go at the moment.
Thomas Williams with a box kick. The packed out Principality Stadium under the roof, fantastic atmosphere, but that atmosphere has been punctured by the 2 England tries that sees Wales 0, England 14 the score as we edge towards the 20-minute mark, a first quarter that's flown by on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Right across the BBC this game, your home of the Six Nations for the next 4 years as well, as Roebuck gets up and he wins it. Thomas Williams then grabs it. It's gone out of play, and it looks like, Matt Dawson, this will be an England line out right below us from our position on the top tier.
He's been touched. Time off. We've got a man down as well.
There's a man down. That's Ollie Chesham, and hopefully that's not serious for Chesham. And also a Welsh player down. That's Ellis. No, it's not. It's that Joe Roberts, Ken.
Joe Roberts.
Yeah. So 2 men down.
Looks like he was holding his shoulder, maybe. On that tackle at Marcus Smith. Yeah, we're looking, I don't know, we're just outside Wales's 22. That all came from a Wales line out on England's 10-metre line. Lost the battle, lost the territory, but Wales's original line out came from England's free kick. They didn't go for the tap penalty, they didn't go for the up and under. Finn Smith just kicked a free kick straight into touch, because that's the confidence where England are at the moment, Ken. They don't care if Wales are throwing the ball in or not, or whether it's England. They fancy their chances.
Yeah, so they've obviously done their analysis on Wales. The early couple of lineouts have taken a couple at the front, and they've probably got a plan. Steve Borthwick, very clever lineout operator, as is Maro Itoje. They're probably setting up Wales for that. And going, we're happy to put it out, and we're confident we can win it back. And you can see that they double backed on David Jenkins. And there's obviously a plan to what they're trying to do.
A big loss, big loss.
Well, this is huge, Matt. I know England have a 14-point lead, but England have no lock on the bench. Ollie Chesham is going off, and let's hope that's not serious, because he's playing some great stuff. He's a British and Irish Lions prospect for sure, Chesham. And if that's a dislocated shoulder, could that be a few months on the sideline? Who knows? Chandler Cunningham-South is on. He's going to have to play in the second row. And if you're Wales and you're looking for scraps of optimism, Ken, this has to be one of those. Yeah,
they'd have prepared for this in the week, though, England, because Chandler Cunningham-South is obviously the second row option, so he'd have been preparing all week. But from a line-out point of view, is he the same athlete as Ollie Chesham with the knowledge of the line-out? And it'd be something Wales we have to look at targeting now.
Because England had no jumper in their back row, really. 3 fetchers. One of them has gone up in Tom Curry. He won ball. Ben Earl hurtles into centre field. Alex Mitchell scampers to the breakdown and finds Ellis Genge. That's an industrious carry from the Bristol man, just outside the 22. They're coming round the corner with some tempo, England. That was Ben Curry on the charge. Now his twin brother Tom. Oh, these are good players in tandem, aren't they, the Curry boys, as they go into the 22. Slightly slowed up from England. A little kick through from Fraser Dingwall. That's not bad. Turning Wales around, and it'll be a line out to Wales, but right in the corner, 7 metres from their own lines.
Yeah, let's not forget England's set piece, their scrummage. Ollie Chesham going out of that engine room, replacing it with Chandler Cunningham South. That is a very different dynamic of second rows coming through.
Wales have to get this right, they do. Jenkins wins it. Faletau steams round the corner and sets it up in centre field, but Wales are in the wrong end of the pitch and the scoreboard is against them as well. Wales 0, England 14, 19.5 minutes gone. Better from Thomas Williams, really good from Thomas Williams, takes play almost up to the halfway line. Ken Owens.
Very clean exit there, some great stuff. Line out one at the back there, David Jenkins, down to Toby, good carry, no messing around, great kick from Thomas. And this is where Wales do need a build. When England get on the go, they're struggling to stop their momentum, and it's about building pressure now.
So what's happened here? It was an England line out.
England went for a quick one at the front. No one up challenging for the ball, and it went straight to Stewart. I don't see why there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah,
I think he's called it not straight by the look of it.
But if it was uncontested,
let's get to a contest.
Yeah, interesting one. Either way, it's going to be a Wales scrum, so that good exit has been improved further by Wales going up to halfway, then getting a set piece. A reminder, if you're just joining us on 5 Live, 20 minutes gone in the Principality. Wales 0, England 14. World Cup winner Matt Dawson with us. 4-time Six Nations winner Ken Owens with us as well. All the reaction on the Rugby Union Weekly podcast. We're live in the Stade de France later with Sarah Orchard and Fraser Brown. Premier League football, 5:30 over on Sports Extra. The final half an hour, maybe a bit more, will be here on 5 Live after the rugby as Wales get a clearance in through Blair Murray, and Wales take play up to the 22. So you feel Ken Owens, Wales are maybe just getting back into the game a bit, but that scoreboard is so against them at 14-0.
No, it is. They need some territory. They need to spend some time in England's half. To be fair, okay scrum there. Nick Berry was happy to get the ball clear. It was messy at the front, but just spreading it wide. Blair Murray turning England and trying to get some field position.
Cowan-Dickie throws. Cunningham South takes it. Ollie Chesham off. England don't have a lock on the bench, so Chandler Cunningham South is going to play an hour plus in the very unfamiliar position of second row. But he won that line-out ball, and England will try and get rid of it from their own 22 through their scrum half, Alex Mitchell. He sends it high into the Cardiff Air. The roof on over us at the Principality Stadium. It came off Faletau but didn't go forward, and Wales have it. Bit of ball for the Welsh. Aaron Wainwright into a sandwich of Curry and Cunningham South. Tom Curry, that was. As Curry then got up to pressurise Thomas Williams. Crossfield kick from Anscombe. That's a tester for Marcus Smith, who doesn't get up and claim it, but it did go backwards, and England have it through Finn Smith, who's looking crossfield with a clearance, trying to turn Roberts on the left wing on this near touchline. Joe Roberts, left boot, normally a centre, but has a good left peg on him, does Roberts. And now Alex Mitchell, will he look to counter-attack? He's got Marcus Smith, who would love to have a go at some Welsh forwards. He chips for himself, Smith, all on the bounce. Oh, it's been gathered by Wales just about Murray. Now Murray kicks for himself. This is really interesting. Blair Murray, oh, what a tackle by Cowan-Dickie. That saved the day. Murray would have been under the post. He chipped for himself with Smith up. There was no fullback. And Cowan-Dickie has made a crucial intervention to stop Murray getting a try that this time would certainly have stood.
Oh, to be fair to Luke Cowan-Dickie there, he knew he was in a bit of trouble with Blair Murray, and he's just backed himself to try and get something on his ankles, and it was a great tap tackle.
Just not going for Wales, is it, as Faletau loses that? He never looked in control of that, Toby Faletau. And now Mitchell swings it to Finn Smith. Oh, Marcus Smith might be able to attack D here. Tommy Freeman up against Ben Thomas. Oh, we could have given that to Daly maybe, but he dummied. Wales at the breakdown trying to pressure. The crowd desperately want a penalty. Curry does a kick, and Faletau this time does take it cleanly. Quite loose, quite open in the Principality Stadium as Wales have it on halfway.
there'll be some deep breaths coming in for some of the forwards now. It's great to watch from a neutral, I've got to say that.
Deep breaths for the commentators as well as Nicky Smith drives it up. Good noise around the stadium as Wales have some possession for a change as Thomas Williams kicks it off the side of his boot, then Mitchell knocks it on. Ironic cheers from the crowd, and Wales will get the scrum, but they get a penalty actually. Alex Mitchell, who knocked it on, then misdemeaned, and it will be a Wales penalty. And surely Gareth Anscombe tries to put this as deep into the English 22 as he possibly can.
I tell you what, you've any senior player in this England side, Maro Itoje, you would be going bananas right now. Absolutely nuts at your England side, who have total control of the game. Wales have just gone dead with that kick. Oh, what an error. That's a big let-off.
That's
big
a massive
let-off.
That is a massive. You've got to back Gareth Anscombe to try and stick it in the corner there. But you're just like, we need time in England's 22.
Been a massive issue, Ken, this championship. Wales have just hardly had any 22 entries. How do you win games if you can't get in the opposition red zone? And then when you do have a chance, Anscombe overcooks it. So England have been much the better side. They're 40-0 up, but Blair Murray's had a disallowed try. Blair Murray's been denied by an amazing tap tackle from Luke Cowan-Dickie, and Anscombe's missed a chance to go within 5.
But where's it come from? It's come from the broken play. As soon as it gets into pattern, either defence or attack, England look like they have control of the game. When Wales are breaking it up, little chips over or poor kicks, knock-ons from England, Wales are looking really dangerous because they're just throwing caution to the wind. And that's why I said with Maro Itoje, you've got to get a grip of this England side. Guys, stay in the system. The system is going to win this game, and Wales are going to keel over if they keep playing at this pace, but you can't give Wales broken field ball.
No, you can't, and that's what Wales want. Obviously, change of coaches staff, they want to break this game up, and it suits the players Wales have got. Joe Roberts, Ben Thomas, Blair Murray, Ellis Mee. It's the game they want to play. Even Toby Faletau at the back of the scrum. This is the type of game they want to play. So for England, it is about getting back in the system and staying within it, because Wales are struggling when England are in system.
Well, these scrums are taking a while to form. Alex Mitchell now does feed, and then it goes down. Yeah, they're a mess at the moment, these scrums, Ken. You've been there 91 times for Wales. You know all about the twitchiness, the desperation to try and get a good hit, but
no, it is. Wales have been under pressure in a couple. I think England are obviously big, heavy pack. They're winning that battle on the hit, and you can see it's Will Stewart and Nicky Smith getting to know each other. Nicky playing at Leicester now in the English Premiership. And you can just see they're just trying to win that first 6 inches to give themselves momentum, because Wales haven't had that the first couple of scrums. So I think Nick Berry's going to have to start making decisions, because even though as much as I love watching scrums, we want to see the game, we want to see it played.
Yeah, I mean the clock was about 23 when Gareth Anscombe put it out on the full. Now we're over 25, so it is such an interesting area that makes rugby union so unique, the scrum, but it's just really getting the best out of it while making sure it doesn't take too much time out of the game. That's the lawmakers' challenge. England do get clean ball. Fraser Dingwall to Tommy Freeman. Jack Morgan slid in to try and make an impact, but couldn't quite. Marcus Smith throws a dummy, almost gets away, and gets a beautiful offload to Elliot Daly. Then it's been ripped by Wales, so Wales have it back. As England try and steal through Ben Earl, there's a decent enough clear from the Welsh. They do have the ball, 40 metres from their own line, and Anscombe goes in to play scrum half. Nicky Smith. Ben Earl is making a mischief of himself at these breakdowns. He seems to be on one today, the England number 8, but it's in Welsh possession, and the trusty presence of Thomas Williams, the guest on the Rugby Union Weekly podcast earlier in the week. All the reaction coming later on the pod and over the next few days as this thrilling Six Nations Championship comes to a close. England are looking to put pressure on France, who play later with the tournament in their hands, as Freeman gets it to Ben Curry, kicked through by Wales on the loose ball, and Mee couldn't quite get to it. Not far away, Wales. The bounce is not quite going for them, but they've had a decent enough spell to weather this England tide. Wales 0, England 14, 27 minutes gone.
It's a lack of accuracy. again from England. Goodness me, they don't have like putting their fans under the pump with their roller coaster style, Ken. I mean, it's unrecognisable from where England were in that opening 10 minutes.
No, I know, and it's as if they're trying to force it. It's when they don't need to. I think this will be Steve Borthwick, Mario Touré won't be like this, but they're trying. I love their ambition, the way they're trying to play. There's no need to force it.
Yeah, they made such a good start. They can just put the pressure back on Wales, and maybe that's what Alex Mitchell is thinking as he hooks a solid clearance to touch, more than solid actually. It goes past the halfway line, and Wales will have the line out as we edge towards the half-hour mark. Over on Sports Extra, coverage getting underway any second now. Bournemouth against Brentford in the Premier League from the Vitality. That's over on Sports Extra. We'll join the commentary on 5 Live after Wales against England. Earlier, Everton West Ham drew 1-1. Forest won 4-2 at Ipswich. 2-2 Man City held at home by Brighton, and Wolves winning at Southampton 2-1. As Wales get a penalty, they have had a good 5 or 6 minutes, the Welsh, but they desperately need some points with England leading 14-0.
No, they're managing to frustrate England and forcing England to overplay, which isn't suiting England at the moment. The longer this continues for Wales, it's going to keep them in the game. They just need to get something on the board, whether that's a penalty or a try. The problem Wales have had, they're not spending enough time in England's sort of 30 metres out, and I think if they can do that now, stay here, get some points, this period will really have suited Wales.
Well, Anscombe took no chances there. Tight angle, but he didn't go for broke. 25, maybe 30 metres out now as Mee comes off his wing. Good carry from the right winger into Finn Smith. Good quick ball, Thomas Williams. Round the corner comes Faletau. He passes it on to Elliot Dee, the hooker. Thomas Williams, bit deep behind the gain line there is Jenkins, but he thunders into Chandler Cunning himself. 14-0 England, almost half an hour gone. 5 Live, BBC Sport, BBC Sounds as Thomas Williams flings it out to Anscombe, to Max Llewellyn on the gain line, trying to clear out England. They do. Ben Thomas a touch isolated perhaps. Curry lurking with intent there, Tom Curry. He wants the ball, doesn't get it. Out to Nicky Smith, decent passage from Wales. 8 phases. They haven't got points yet, but they do have penalty advantage as the noise picks up around Cardiff, as Jenkins thunders into the heart of the English defence. Max Llewellyn, they're ever so slightly deep in attack, you feel, the Welsh, but they are keeping the ball nicely. There for Rowland. Gareth Anscombe goes cross field, but this one will be taken by Elliot Daly. Wales do have the penalty though, and now a big decision. You've gone half an hour without a point. What do you do if you're Jack Morgan and the Welsh leadership group? It's definitely in range for Gareth Anscombe, and it looks like he's going for the corner. So assuming he doesn't put this dead, Wales will have a line out close to the English line. Let's go to Wickham, Wrexham and Sahel Sahi.
Where play is back underway here, Chris. We had a 40-minute delay due to a medical emergency. The Wrexham supporter has been taken away in ambulance. We're back underway. We've got 13 minutes to play. It's Wickham 0, Wrexham 0.
Thanks a lot, Sahel. Keep us updated at Adams Park. Wales do kick to the corner, and he gets it right this time, Gareth Anscombe. Best opportunity for Wales to score points this half. As they drive the rolling ball, they're almost up to the line. They're being willed on by the whole of Wales. They've got another penalty advantage. England creaking a bit here, despite that 14-0 lead. Thomas Williams, Nicky Smith helped out by Will Griff-John. Up to the line go Wales. Have they got the composure with penalty advantage? Thomas Williams to the left. Aaron Wainwright's up to the line, inches short. There for Williams. He's got loads of forwards. Instead it goes to Ben Thomas. And Ben Thomas scores for Wales under the post. So much better from Wales. They're back in the game.
No, brilliant phase of play from Wales there. From the line out, went through the phases, made England make decisions defensively, get the penalty, back themselves in the corner. Forwards carrying hard, being dynamic, which we didn't see in the first 10 or 12 minutes. Aaron Wainwright crossing the gain line, and then great pass to Thomas Williams to Ben Thomas, and he's over under the sticks. Wales are back in the game.
And England have got away with one there. They've got away with having 15 men on the field. I would not have been surprised if Nick Berry, the official, if he'd gone to that penalty from the driving ball where someone would have gone in the bin. And then listen, you don't want to give 7 points away, but I mean, the frustration is going to be evident from my voice, but England have only got themselves to blame. I mean, they've had plenty of ball, they've had plenty of position. They just haven't made the right decisions in the last 10 minutes.
Prince William watches on, and here applause. He's a Wales fan. Wales 7, England 14. Try Ben Thomas, conversion Gareth Hanscom. And Wales have got on the board. They've had a few chances, a few things haven't quite gone their way. Disallowed tries, great English defence, but they have got points that they desperately needed if they're going to keep this game alive and stop this losing run. The ball is ricocheted from the clearance. I think it is back in English possession. Commentary is underway, coverage underway I should say, of Bournemouth-Brentford. Commentary starts in 5 minutes, but coverage starting now over on Sports Extra as England kick through Mitchell. Mee whacks it clear. Bit of a scrappy minute or so, but it will be an England line out in a tidy attacking position for the visitors, who are still in this Six Nations title hunt. They can go past Ireland, who won in Rome, but not convincingly, 22-17. A try bonus point for the Irish, but not a big enough points difference to ensure that England have to get the try bonus point. England have got 2 tries anyway, as Cunningham South takes the line out. Ben Earl peels away. Elliot Daly's carrying a fair bit of ball from set piece. Beautiful presentation. Mitchell, Cowan Dickey, who made a try-saving tackle on Murray a few minutes ago. 22, centre field, 14-7 England. Ben Earl on the Galen, out the back. Nice ball, Fraser Dingwall. Cunningham South hugging the left touchline. And he bursts into the 22, does the Harlequin. Playing at second row with Ollie Chesham off injured. There's Ben Earl, who's having a decent game. Another carry from Earl. Ellis Gench pops it to Finn Smith. Oh, they're looking crossfield. That is on the money. Tom Roebuck. Oh, what a step. But a good tackle this time. He goes inside to Marcus Smith, who's held a few metres short. But England have it through Mitchell. Out to Cowan Dickey, who drives on to within 3 or 4 metres. Will Griff-John's on the wrong side. That might be a penalty. Alex Mitchell wants it. Listen to the noise around Cardiff. Curry, Dingwall, Finn Smith. Oh, beautifully done. Tommy Freeman! He's done it again, Freeman! 5 and 5! It's never been done before by an Englishman in the Six Nations. History for Tommy Freeman. A try in every Six Nations game. And England get their 3rd, and that's beautifully worked too.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say England may have had a little bit of a telling off under their own sticks. All of a sudden England have come back and been very accurate, very precise, lovely crossfield kick to Roebuck to set up all the pressure. But from a Welsh perspective, Ken, you've got to be absolutely fuming from the kickoff that you don't get the clearance right, exit right, get rid of the pressure. You can't have this England side going through multi-phases near your own line.
Oh, that'll be frustrating for Wales. Got themselves back into the game with a well-worked try, and then from the kick-off, it was going to come off at some point. The Curry brothers and Ben Earl have gone to charge down almost every kick. They finally get one. Tom Curry charging the ball down, keeps it Wales in their 22. They can't exit. I think England just going back to what they did in the first 15 minutes, carrying hard, making good decisions, staying in the system, and finding space. And great try for Tommy Freeman.
And what about that for an achievement from an individual point of view? Trying every game, Matt.
Yeah, well, will that ever be done again? It's one of those records, really. It's a one-off. Has been so far, isn't it? It's the first time it's ever been done.
Yeah, in Six Nations history. I mean, Will Greenwood was scoring them for fun in 01, but the foot-and-mouth game in Dublin, he didn't manage to bag then. Freeman has scored against Ireland, against France, Scotland, Italy, and now Wales in Cardiff. As Wales attack, they get it out to Roberts down the left touchline. Good tackle, Tommy Freeman, as Roberts almost got away. Can Wales respond just before half-time? Wales 7, England 21. Nice hands, Jenkins, Thomas. Oh, they've got numbers here, or a bit of space. Nicky Smith, they wanted that to go, but a good carry from the loose head. He goes over the 10-metre line. To the right comes Thomas Williams, out to Blair Murray. Ben Thomas, the try scorer, wanted it, but Murray set it up. 4 minutes to go. 5 live from the BBC, live in the Principality Stadium. You're home at the Six Nations as England get the penalty. Ben Earl again. That English scavenging in the back row is working wonders at the breakdown. We get a Wickham goal for you, Sahel.
Yeah, goal for Wrexham. Wickham 0, Wrexham 1. Sam Smith with the goal. It was whacked forward. Stephen Fletcher headed it towards the direction of Smith, who volleyed it first time past the Wycombe goalkeeper. Wycombe 0, Wrexham 1.
Thanks a lot, Sahel at Adams Park. Again, Finn Smith, another really good kick. 22, England. Well, we're saying can Wales reply, but England could get another score before the break here, Matt.
Wales not making life easy for themselves there. A couple of players flopping down onto their comrade there when they just needed a quick ruck ball. On that occasion, the quick hands going left to right. If it was probably any other player, if it was a back of some sort, and maybe Wales were away. It happened to be have a go at front row forward, but you know what I mean, Ken.
Nicely done, England at the line now. We'll get Ken Owens' view in a sec, but let's see how this England attack by the Maul progresses. Oh, they almost went to the short side there, England, but they've kept it in the Maul. Cowan-Dickie out the back to Ben Curry. They've got penalty advantage, England. They are sniffing Welsh blood here in Cardiff. They lead 21-7 with 3 tries. There's Earl out to Ellis Genge, tackled by Llewellyn, but he goes past the gain line, does Genge. Mitchell, Fraser Dingwall, beautifully done to Marcus Smith. Out to Roebuck, who's got 1 try, who's looking for a second. 6 metres out, England. Mitchell to Itoje. Lovely ball to Cunningham South. Jack Morgan's got to try and get that, but he can't. Mitchell, Cowan-Dickie, really good from England. Some of their best rugby of the championship. They're going to get another one. Chandler Cunningham South crashes over. Oh, there are loads of English supporters in the house, and they're on their feet. England have 4 tries before half-time, and they're storming clear now.
Just when England play at this intensity, accurate to the contact area, winning collisions, Wales just haven't got an answer for it at the moment. When England went away and they got really scrappy and really suited Wales, from the last try they've gone back. I'm sure Maro and the leaders on the behind the sticks have read the riot act and said, let's go back to what we're good at, crossing the gain line and being able to make decisions from there. And another great try from Chandler Cunningham South.
Yeah, I mean, England they've just narrowed their attack a little bit, Chris, rather than going wide too early and giving the opportunity to Wales to break it up. They're just one-out runners, or it might be off Finn Smith. It might be a little tip on Finn Smith just knocking over the conversion to finish the set of 7. It's very machine-like. Love it. Really quite methodical and painful for Wales, because every single time they get their heads up, there's another carry from Curry, there's another carry from Earl, from Stewart, from Itoje, from Chandler Cunningham South. It's relentless.
A minute to go until half-time. England retain the kick-off, or receive the kick-off, and then Marcus Smith. That's good distance from Smith. He belts it downfield, and that's a really good kick, because Anscombe's got to gather it under his crossbar, and the best he's going to do is clear to 30. And so England, if they really, really, really want to put their foot down, they could try and score once more before the break, because they've got field position now, Ken Owens.
To you, every 50-50 today has gone England's way, but they've made that happen. Do you know what I mean? They've done the unseen work really well. But a 5-10 minute period, it's been all England.
Out from Mitchell to clubmate Smith. Then it's been knocked on. Has that come off the head? Oh, talking about bounces going England's way. Here's Ben Curry. He's up to the line. He's only 3 metres short. Mitchell to the left. Will Stewart on his 50th. Would you believe? I think he scored. He has on his 50th cap the tight head prop. Matt Dawson's making the TMO sign. But if that's come off Genge's head, it's play on. The bounce is all going England's way, but they're making the most of them. And Stewart may have got England's 5th try in this first half.
Yeah, ball zipped across, meant to zip across the forward pack, smashes Ellis Genge in the head, a little bit like Joe Marler in the World Cup, but it's play on, scooped up from by Curry. And I thought, to be honest, if Curry had just pinned his ears back and gone for it, maybe he would have scored himself. Set the ruck up. I'm getting to the point of why there's a little TMO decision, because Maro Itoje comes into the ruck to go and scoop the ball up, which, I mean, is criminal. Absolutely criminal. It's whether the referee is going to judge that he's ever so slightly knocked it on. He should never have gone anywhere near that ball. We'll watch this a million times. We'll have to get all the angles.
He definitely touches it, doesn't he? It's whether, I mean, in rugby league that's a definite knock on. Really tough call. It'll be a blow for Will Stewart if on his 50th.
I just got it off the foot
he's denied
just
a try.
Now I'm not seeing a clear knock on. just going to check.
That's
one
the voice
more
of
camera
the TMO Mike Adamson.
We will. But you got to trust the decision when it comes. Yeah.
Jack Morgan has gone to speak to Nick Berry. As you say, Matt Dawson, we can look at this 100 times. Itoje's touched it. Has he then left it? Has it sort of just been stationary, the ball, or has it gone a nanometer forward?
Yeah, last angle. Okay, Nick, I have a decision.
Sure.
Okay, I'm not seeing a clear knock-on by 4 white, so you can stick with your on-field decision.
Okay. So, no clear knock-on, sticking with the on-field decision, just try.
Well, let's focus on the try then. Let's focus on the finish from the front row. Will Stewart is getting a bit of a reputation. This is not his first sidestepping rodeo, Ken. This guy can move.
I know he can, and he's a dynamic carrier for a big guy. We've seen throughout the game that he's got footwork. He doesn't just run hard. To be fair, Thomas Williams went to spot blitz him, a bit of footwork, got on the outside and finished and took his try well.
Well, Finn Smith with a rare aberration from the tee. He doesn't convert. The try is given. Will Stewart the scorer. England have 5 in the first half and they lead by 33 points to 7, and all that Welsh optimism has been smashed to smithereens in that first 40. England playing the best stuff they've played in ages. Scored tries through Itoje, through Roebuck, through Freeman, from Cunningham South, through Stewart. Freeman making a little bit of English rugby history, scoring 5 in 5. A word from Matt Dawson and Karen Owens before we go back to Chap as well. 7, England 33.
Yeah, I don't think any England fan, ex-player, pundit would have seen 33-7 as a final score, let alone at half-time. A blistering start from England, but I'll go back to the word that I've used numerous times so far today about England, and accuracy. They have been prolific in their system and their accuracy, not just the way that they're handling the ball, but their decision-making accuracy has been wonderful throughout this first half and has been a stark contrast to where they've been before.
No, England have been impressive, barring a 5-10 minute period where Wales managed to make it scrappy and get themselves back into the game. England, it's the best they've played this Six Nations. They've left it till today, but they've been accurate, they've been dynamic, they've played at pace, and they've been the best side on the day by far. No one would have expected this, I don't think, and Wales just haven't managed to get any sort of foothold in the game, whether it be scrum, line out, kick to contest, and it's just been difficult for them so far.
Well, Mark Chapman, I think the equation will still say the same. Any win for France will be enough. England are kind of eating into that whopping points difference. They're never going to get there. But what a first half from England. They're doing all they can. They're going to breeze past Ireland in the Six Nations table at this rate and say to France, go and win it then. Wales 7, England 33 half-time.
Yeah, Steve Borthwick's men couldn't have done any more than what they've done in that first half. 33-7 at the break over Wales. Earlier, Ireland beat Italy by 22 points to 7. That put Ireland on top, but as Chris has explained, England will go back on top and say to France, go and beat Scotland to win the Men's Six Nations of 2025. Earlier in the Premier League, Everton 1, Ipswich 1. Start that again, get the teams right. Everton 1, West Ham 1, Ipswich 2, Nottingham Forest 4, Manchester City 2, Brighton 2, Southampton 1, Wolves 2. The tea time game, Bournemouth against Brentford. It's on Sports Extra at the moment. Paul Scott.
9 minutes played here. It is Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. One attempt on target so far. A rather tame effort from Milos Kerkez straight at Mark Flecken in the Brentford goal. The Cherries can close the gap on the top 4 to just 2 points with a win tonight. They've made one change to the 11 that were held by Spurs last time out. Ilya Zabani back from suspension. Brentford travel well right now, having won their last 4 on the road. They're unchanged from the defeat against Villa. They will fancy their chances. The Bees have never lost to Bournemouth in the Premier League. 9 minutes on the clock. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0.
Yeah, reaction to all the Premier League games to come during half-time. The main differences in the table following the results this afternoon. Nottingham Forest now within 1 point of Arsenal in second. Although Forest have played a game more. Brighton go level on points with Newcastle. They're both on 47, a point behind Manchester City in fifth. Obviously, Newcastle in League Cup final action tomorrow against Liverpool. Full commentary here on 5 Live. Wolves, with that win against Southampton, now have a 9-point gap over the bottom three. Southampton have 9, Leicester 17 and Ipswich 17. Slightly delayed game in League One, second against third, and it's going the way of third at the moment. Wycombe 0, Wrexham 1. Sahel Sahi.
Yeah, we're into the 95th minute here, Mark, due to a 40-minute medical emergency delay. The Wrexham supporter has been taken away to a hospital, a local hospital here in Wycombe, and Sam Smith has scored the goal. It came after 78 minutes after the restart. Nicely worked by Stephen Fletcher. He found Sam Smith inside the penalty area, left-footed volley which flew past the Wycombe goalkeeper Will Norris. We've got about 20 seconds to play of the 5 minutes of stoppage time. It's Wycombe 0, Wrexham 1.
And up until today, Wycombe had only lost one of their last 16 at home in the league. So reaction to the day's football to come after Carl Hartley in the news, 20-6.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Mark. Sir Keir Starmer says that military planning for a possible ceasefire in Ukraine has moved into an operational phase, and military leaders will meet in the UK on Thursday. Speaking after a virtual meeting with around 29 other world leaders, the Prime Minister said now is the time to put maximum pressure on Russia to agree to a ceasefire. A UK-based charity that provides aid in Gaza says an Israeli airstrike has hit a vehicle it was using in the north of the territory. The Al-Khair Foundation says 8 people were killed. A ship's captain has been remanded in custody by magistrates after appearing in court charged with gross negligence manslaughter of a member of his crew, Vladimir Mortin, who's at 59 and from Russia, was in charge of the ship that collided with an oil tanker off the coast of East Yorkshire earlier this week. And 5 people have appeared in court in Cardiff charged in connection with the shooting dead of a woman at a block of flats. Police say Joanne Penny may have been the victim of mistaken identity when she was attacked in Talbot Green in South Wales last Sunday.
This is the football story of the century.
It's pandemonium, it's ecstasy.
It's an authoritarian regime.
For the past 15 years, English football has been dominated by Manchester City. 8 Premier League titles, 6 League Cups, 3 FA Cups, 1 Champions League. And more than 100 charges.
Somebody turned up at the Etihad Stadium and effectively served papers.
I'm Clive Myrie, and this is Football on Trial, the Manchester City charges.
They believe they've got irrefutable evidence.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport.
With Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Final whistle has gone at Wycombe. Sahel.
Wycombe 0, Wrexham 1. It was goalless until the 77th minute and an even contest. We then had a 40-minute delay due to a medical emergency in the Wrexham supporters' end. When the players returned within a minute of the restart, Sam Smith volleyed in the winning goal. A vital 3 points for Wrexham, who move into second. Full-time, Wycombe 0, Wrexham 1.
Yeah, earlier, Birmingham, the leaders, drew 1-1 at Northampton. So they have 83 points. Wrexham, as Sahel say, go into second with 71. Wycombe dropped to third with 68. Charlton in fourth on 66 after they beat Wigan at home by 2-1. Stockport have 65. They won at Bolton, and Huddersfield, despite sacking their manager last week, got a 5-1 win at home to Crawley, and they go into the playoff spots as well. Shrewsbury, Cambridge, Crawley and Burton remain the bottom 4 in League One. And as we're doing these results, let's just do the Championship. Leeds held 2-2 at QPR today. They had been 2-0 down at lunchtime. They have 80 points. Burnley go into second with a 2-0 win at Swansea. They have 78. Sheffield United in third on 77. They're involved in the Sheffield derby tomorrow. Sunderland beaten 3-0 at Coventry. They have 69. Coventry have 59. West Brom complete the playoff spots, although they were held at home by Hull, so they're in the playoffs on goal difference from Bristol City. Both have 57. The big game at the bottom saw Derby get a late winner at Plymouth 3-2. Luton held at home by Middlesbrough. They remain the bottom 3. Plymouth have 33, Luton 35, Derby 38, but Derby just a point from safety now. Cardiff won at Blackburn. They have 39. Stoke also have 39. They were beaten at Millwall. And in League Two, Bradford beaten at home by Tranmere this afternoon. So they missed the chance to go level on points with Walsall at the top of the table. Walsall played earlier in the week and drew with Bromley. Walsall have 69. Bradford have 66. AFC Wimbledon won at the bottom of the table, Carlisle. They have 63. Doncaster also have 63. They drew at Crewe. Notts County beaten at home by Chesterfield have 61. Port Vale beat MK Dons. They also have 61. And Colchester, who are on this amazing run of form, they've beaten Fleetwood 3-0. They're now in the playoffs this evening on 58 points, and they are unbeaten in 13 in the league. The bottom two remain the same. As I say, Carlisle losing at home to AFC Wimbledon. They have 27. Morecambe drew at home to Barrow. They have been 2-0 up, reduced to 10 men. It finished 2-2. They have 30. They are 6 points from safety. In the National League, the main news, Barnet won again. They beat Woking by a 0-0. They are at the top of the table, are Barnet. They have a 9-point lead over York, who also won this afternoon by a 0-0 at Yeovil. You're up to date with all the football in England. I'll give you the Scottish Premiership scores very shortly, but there are 3 games in Rugby League's Challenge Cup today. Let's go to Wigan against Hull FC. Matt Newsom.
Yeah, this one sees the holders Wigan Warriors take on Hull FC 40 years after arguably the greatest Challenge Cup final of all time, when 2 star-studded teams went at it at Wembley. It's not quite as star-studded on the black and white side, Hull side these days. John Cartwright trying to get Hull back to some of their greatest glories, but Wigan look ominously good this season. Apart from that defeat by Lee on the opening weekend, they have looked in sparkling form. Jay Field, Bevan French, Harry Smith, all those star names. Well, there's plenty of experience for Hull FC. Jordan Rupp, Aidan Caesar, Herman Esse, for example, they're going to provide plenty of punch and craft and graft. But Wigan are a really tough team to beat. They've won everything last year, and the onus is on them to carry out that feat in 2025.
2 ties approaching half-time. Catalan 14, Featherstone 6, Widnes 6, Warrington 6. Rory McIlroy just 2 shots off the lead heading into today's 3rd round of Golf's Players' Championship. Ian Carter's at Sawgrass.
He'll be on the course in around about 40 minutes, Mark, at 9 under par after rounds of 67 and 68, but a completely different proposition today for this 3rd round. The wind really sweeping across Sawgrass, so it's going to be a mighty test for all of the late starters today. Minwoo Lee and Akshay Bhatia are the 2 leaders at 11 under par. JJ Spawn will be playing alongside McIlroy at 10 under par. We've seen 2 66s already. Corey Connors round to get to 8 under par, and Danny Walker, the first alternate into the field, he's got into the top 10 at 7 under.
Thank you very much, Ian. In the Scottish Premiership today, Hearts 2, Ross County 0, Kilmarnock 1, Hibs 1, Motherwell 2, St Mirren 2. Bottom of the table, St Johnstone drew 0-0 at home to Aberdeen. They're within 2 points of Dundee, who play Dundee United tomorrow. Also tomorrow, it is Celtic Rangers. Later on this evening, you'll hear commentary on Sports Extra of Jack Draper, Carlos Alcaraz in the semi-finals at Indian Wells. That will be from around 10:30. Some Premier League reaction for you now. Nottingham Forest winning 4-2 at Ipswich to go a point off Arsenal in second. Here's Nuno Espirito Santo.
Overall, I think we performed well. We started the game well, we were organised, we had good spells of possession. It's about containing Ipswich at home. Don't know if you know the statistics. Ipswich is the team that scores more in the first 15 minutes. So it was about realising at home that they are really strong. And we had a good spell on the first half during 6 minutes that we took advantage of our talent and speed players that we have. And then second half was about trying to contain. There's a moment when they scored 3-1. Fortunately and luckily, we get the force that really put them to bed.
How decisive could that ruthless streak that your team had today and has had across a lot of the season, could that be in achieving the European, the Champions League goals, that ruthlessness in particular?
No, it's each game has its own history. Each game has its own history. Sometimes we try to be ruthless, we have chances, we don't do it. Today work out perfectly.
Nuno Espirito Santo with Rob Schofield. Opening goal at Bournemouth, Paul Scott.
19 minutes on the clock here. It is Bournemouth 1, Brentford 0. A well-worked move down the left-hand side. Antoine Semenyo feeding it through to Milos Kerkez. His pullback deflecting off Vitaly Janelt and into the back of his own net. Bournemouth 1, Brentford 0.
Tidying up everything that happened in Scotland, Falkirk, the Championship leaders, won again. They beat Queen's Park 4-0. They have an 8-point lead at the top of the table. In League One, top against bottom ended as a draw, 1-1 between Arbroath and Dumbarton. And the League Two leaders, East Fife, were beaten 3-0 at home by Stranraer. So Peterhead are now level on points with East Fife at the top of the table after they beat Edinburgh City by 2-0. Men's League Cup final tomorrow, full commentary on 5 Live. Women's League Cup final earlier. Chelsea beat Manchester City 2-1, so that's their first trophy under Sonia Bonpastor.
I'm really happy. Obviously, you play football just to have these emotions. When you are able to put your hands in the trophy, that's just wonderful. But again, tonight I want to say thanks to my players. They really worked hard on the pitch, and again, we find a way to win the game. So yeah, well done to them.
Sonia Bonpastor after Chelsea's 2-1 win in the Women's League Cup final. So Bournemouth lead Brentford by a goal to 0. That's on Sports Extra. And in the first half at the Principality, Chris Jones, there were more headers in that game than there have been in Bournemouth-Brentford.
Yeah, and one of them led to an England try when it hit Ellis Genge, and then we had one that didn't lead to a Wales try that could have done. England are out. Wales have been on the pitch for a moment or so. Wales 7, England 33. It's one of Wales's worst halves of rugby ever. The stats guru Russ Petty says that this championship, Wales have 2 of their 4 worst halves ever when it comes to first halves, Ken. 29 against France in 1998, 29-point deficit. 28 against France a few weeks ago. 27 for New Zealand in 87, and now this game. That sort of tells us where Wales are.
Yeah, it does. I think it's where Wales are struggling in the physical element of the game, especially against the big teams. And we've seen that this afternoon. When England get on the front foot, when France go on the front foot, Wales are struggling to slow it down and stop it.
Have Wales got anything in this second half, or England going to motor to victory in Cardiff? They've scored 5 tries, an imposing first half performance by Steve Borthwick's men. One of the best in the last few years, you would say, from an England side, albeit against an opposition that have lost 16 in a row. But Wales do get an early penalty in this second half, a neck roll from England, so we'll give Wales a chance to go to the corner. Gareth Anscombe will kick. I wonder when Matt Sherratt, Ken, will look to get Jared Evans on. They have made a change up front. It looks like number 18 is on for Wales, Kieran Asarati for Will Griff-John. So just the one change for the Welsh, but they are 6 or 7 metres out. Are you saying they made it? Yeah, Dowie Lake's on as well, a hooker. Good spot, Matt Dawson. Lake on for D, and Lake it is who's throwing into this line out. It's not won by Wales. They just can't get anything going, can they? And Ben Earls steams away, and England will be able to clear.
No, it was good. Great start from Wales from the kick-off. Dowie Lake on fresh, putting pressure on at the ruck, forcing Maritoja into a neck roll, getting that penalty. And it's just that accuracy at big moments. And that's the difference between average teams, good teams and great teams. You've got to be able to nail them moments and execute. And it's probably been Wales' problem, not just this championship, but over the last number of months. And it's compounding the issues for them.
Yeah, Wales' biggest ever deficit at half-time against England in history. England scrum Matt Dawson. Wales have to try and keep them in this end of the pitch. 33-7 to England.
Yeah, it'll be a good sign just to see how successful Steve Borthwick's half-time chat was. Are England just going to go through their routine? Are they going to stay into this indestructible system that they seem to have developed in that first half? Another great scrum from England.
Penalty at the scrum. Yeah, penalty at the scrum as England drive Wales back, and just when Wales needed to keep England in their own territory, England will have a chance to get out of their 22 after they won the penalty.
Yeah, and I think this is, from an England perspective, it is really important that even though they might still have the ascendancy in the set piece, that they keep their discipline, they keep their their accuracy, their commitment to how they're playing, and even like now that I don't like the fact that they're taking their time. The way that England have got to 33-7 is by keeping in intensity and pace in the game that Wales just can't live with.
England prepared to throw into the line out. They win it, and they drag it across in the gain line just a will, aren't they? Up to the halfway line they go, and Alex Mitchell will pop it into the box. A tester for Wales, who don't want it. They all stop and watch the ball. Eventually Mead does take it, and now Wales attack, driving up to the 10-metre line. They are the Welsh, and now Thomas Williams goes back to Gareth Anscombe, who's deep, and it's a kind of half crossfield, half clearance. Easily taken though by Marcus Smith. Smith just below us, a few metres from the touchline, on his own 40-metre line. England lead by 33-7, 5 tries to 1. At this rate, England are going way past Ireland in the Six Nations table, and they'll say to France, you've got to go and beat Scotland to get that championship. But the Cardiff crowd that was in such fine voice at the start of the day has been muted by this English performance as Daly gets up and wins it brilliantly, and a huge pass of his left from Ben Earl, and now Marcus Smith looks for position, and that's a poor kick from Smith. Maybe the right idea, but not the execution, and Wales move the line out back on halfway.
Yeah, not Marcus Smith's finest hour. Brilliant long ball from Ben Curry, which was basically just saying, go on then, attack it, let's see the dancing feet, beat the first defender, set up Freeman and go. It was a right proper, dare I say, shank of the right foot.
Wales win the line-out. Ben Thomas, a first receiver. We'll check in with the Super League in a sec, but let's see how Wales do in this attack as Max Llewellyn goes onto the sponsors logo. Daffyd Jenkins tackled by Cunningham South. Wales looking to get something going in their own half. Faletau, that's much better. As I say that, it's been knocked on by Lake. England will have it. Marcus Smith, good ball, good vision. Daly, nicely done to Finn Smith. What's Finn Smith going to do? He whacks it downfield where it's taken by Blair Murray in the backfield. Blair Murray sends up a kick off his left boot, but that's gone too far, and Alex Mitchell will gobble this up. Oh, he doesn't. He drops it, and now it's Murray in a foot race with Dingwall. Murray surely going to get his stride. No, he's knocked it on, and Marcus Smith knocks it down. Blair Murray could have had 2, could have had 3 now, and he keeps being denied. And we'll check whether there was a knock-on or not. If there wasn't, it'll be a Wales score. If there was, it'll be England's possession. But Wales will have the scrum. Much better there from Blair Murray, who's been a menace all day, but just hasn't quite got the bounce of the ball, Ken.
No, he hasn't, and he's looked really dangerous when it's broken field. If Wales can keep this, opening the game up, taking England out of their comfort zone where they've been really good that first half, staying in structure, crossing the gain line. Wales were good for a period in the first half when they managed to make it really unstructured and get the likes of Blair Murray into the game, and that's what happened that period. This will suit Wales. They need to spend time down here now, but keep making it unstructured.
It is, of course, a Challenge Cup in the rugby leagues. Let's go to Wigan. Wigan Warriors, Hull FC, Matt Newsom.
Yeah, Wigan have just scored a second try. Jay Field finishing off a flowing move to the left. Before that, Zach Eckersley finished off in the other side of the field after Hull failed to cut out a patch. So Wigan lead by 8 points to 0 with a kick to come.
Good stuff, Matt. Matt Newsom at the Brick Community Stadium for us. What have they decided here? They're taking a while, the officials, but it looks like Wales will get the scrum, Keno, and so the second half, given how badly the first half went, they've spent most of the first 5 minutes in English territory, which is a start when you're 33-7 down.
Yeah, it is. They spent most of this period in England's half. It's the inaccuracy that's cost them when they've had opportunities. The crowd are getting loud now, big scrum opportunity, and see what they can do.
Wales scrum, 5 metres out. 20 metres in from the touchline. Good solid Welsh scrum. Thomas Williams to the left. Ben Thomas. What have they got, Wales? Max Llewellyn. Oh, try saver Alex Mitchell. But there for the Welsh who are under the crossbar. Oh, it's been lost. England have turned it over. How have they done that? Looked like Wales had control of the ball, but it's back with England. And Finn Smith clears gleefully.
Some great work there from Ben Curry. I think that's who got. He was in over the ball, seen an opportunity. That's what you want to see from your 7, making decisions. Bang, he's in over the ball. Great turnover.
Yeah, sometimes when you go to a big old dinner function or something when you have the magician that goes around the table and he's doing a couple of tricks, and then all of a sudden he brings out a bottle of water from his jacket. You're like, how have you just done that? I didn't see that. I mean, it was a blink and the ball was over. We were all sort of looking wide, ready for Wales to go wide.
Remarkable turnover for a man who's established himself in Test rugby. It's taken him a while. He's had to watch his brother Tom become one of the best players around, but now Ben Curry's having his moment. Wales do get an advantage from the maul. Thomas Williams out to Wainwright. When they do pass it into midfield, they don't look flush with options, the Welsh. Here's Roberts off the wing, behind the gain line a bit, Llewellyn offloads to Thomas, maybe keeping it alive like this and taking it away from the breakdown is the answer. As Wainwright sets it up, centre field, still a long way out though, the Welsh. Azarati with the hands, Anscombe is gobbled up in midfield. No advantage, penalty Wales. They'll have another chance to go for the corner. Ken Owens.
Yeah, decent maul from Wales, but they got a little bit one out in the end. Couldn't quite get into their attacking structure they're looking for, but put pressure on England, got the penalty.
A few changes for England up front. We'll run through them in a moment, but a goal at Bournemouth. Paul Scott's there for us.
An equaliser for Brentford. It's Bournemouth 1, Brentford 1. A corner from the right-hand side from Brian Mbeumo, headed in by Yohan Wissa. Bournemouth 1, Brentford 1.
Thanks a lot, Paul. You can catch the final 15 minutes or so of that first half over on Sports Extra. We'll be with the team at the Vitality after the rugby here in Cardiff. Wales 7, England 33, 47 minutes gone. Rugby later as well from the Stade, France against Scotland. Live sport all the way as you would expect on your home of live sport, BBC Radio 5 Live. England trying to stop Wales here in their 22 as Ben Thomas from the line out sets it up. What do Wales have? They trail heavily, but they've had a decent start to this second half as Thomas Williams slings it out to Jared Evans, who's on. There's Roberts, despairing tackle by Freeman. He wasn't held. Good burst from Joe Roberts. 5 metres out Wales. There for Faletau. Faletau from the pop pass from Teddy Williams, who's on in the second row. Thomas Williams out to Azarati. Numbers here for the Welsh. They could walk this in. They've got to walk it in. They haven't. They've lost it. Oh, Ellis Mee had to give it. He didn't. And then he went to offload, and it's knocked on by Wales. And that, Ken Owens sort of sums it up. Gilt-edge opportunity not taken.
They literally done everything bar score try there. Great play from Wales. Impact from Teddy Williams instantly crossing the gain line. Jared Evans, this is what he does. He managed to play right flat on the gain line, gets the back line moving. Gets the offload, but neither Max Llewellyn nor Aaron Wainwright were expecting it.
Oh my goodness me. I think what Wales achieved there was more difficult than scoring the try. I mean, just brilliant play from Jared just to create the overlap, but just put it through the hands and let someone just dive in the corner. Oh dear, oh dear.
Right, so for England, Jamie George is on at hooker, Joe Hayes is on at tight head, and as we know, Charlie Cunningham South's been on for a while. As we see a replay again, Ellis Mee tackled by Finn Smith, and then he had two. I mean, when it rains, it pours. Wales 7, England 33. 49 minutes gone in Cardiff as both Steve Borthwick and Matt Sherratt start to empty their bench. Henry Pollock is getting ready for his debut. Here he comes, Henry Pollock, aged just 20, a bright hope of English rugby, a star of the 20s, making waves at Northampton, and now a fully fledged England international with his black tape around his forehead, which, if he progresses at the rate many expect, might become an iconic look in English rugby circles. Has Tommy Freeman gone off as well? Matt Dawson, we're getting to that stage of the game and the championship where things are all getting a little bit hectic. I think Freeman is off, which with a 6-2 bench will mean another backline reshuffle for England. Well, Ben Earl going to play centre, won't he?
He's stood at inside centre at the moment, yeah.
So Henry Pollock has come on for Freeman, and Ben Earl's playing centre.
Yeah, great moment for Henry Pollock. Just watching Ellis Genge tap him on the cheek as if to say, smile, enjoy yourself. It's like, smile at the end of the game. Get the game done, get off the field. Get your head down and focus.
No, it's great to see a young guy who's in top form. He's come right through the system, playing well, getting his opportunity to see what he can do at test level, you know, one of the best stadiums in the world.
50 minutes gone in Cardiff, the penultimate game of the 2025 Men's Six Nations. France, Scotland to come here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. England, though, are doing their bit. They've got the try bonus point. They're going past Ireland in the table comfortably at this rate after the Irish beat Italy, but not convincingly. 22 points to 17. The Irish winning in Rome. England carrying out of their own territory through Ben Earl, who was going to play half an hour at centre. It's sort of been the Six Nations of the hybrid player, isn't it, with those French players playing in the midfield and the 7-1 bench, as Roberts runs it back for Wales just over the halfway line. Thomas Williams, some tired bodies out there at this stage of the championship, the 5th round of 5 with half an hour to play. Ben Thomas, out the back it goes to Jared Evans, to Max Llewellyn, who came at pace but was tackled well by Daly.
Thank you, you fell down.
What do Wales have in possession? Ken Owens around about the halfway line.
They have. This is where they probably struggled in some games, is overplaying here. And it's great to see the ambition, but this is where they got themselves in trouble up in Scotland last week.
Jared Evans, little ball to Ben Thomas, wide they go to Faletau. Good from Faletau, 10-12 metres he makes, and Thomas Williams finds Jared Evans, who's a really good attacking player, Jared Evans, but Wales were desperately wanting to be on with the scoreline a little bit closer. Nice ball, Nicky Smith. Jared Evans to Ben Thomas. They are looking promising with the ball in hand, but England equally won't mind them attacking from this kind of place on the field. Teddy Williams powers into Daly. He makes a few metres. Can they puncture this strong English defensive line? Jack Morgan's trying his best to do that. Thomas Williams again, 10 phases for Wales as the Toje rushes out the line to Jenkins. Swing Low Sweet Chariot rings around the Principality. Ben Thomas does kick. It's a pretty decent kick that will dribble almost to the dead ball line. Marcus Smith gets away though. He's running it out, Marcus Smith. And he's tackled by Faletau as England will be able to clear. Another try in the Rugby League, Matt.
Yeah, with events in Cardiff and here in Wigan, Chris Atherton will be a happy man on your podcast. Wigan 16, Hull FC 0. The great hope of English Rugby League. Junior Asemba blasting his way in after a great break by Harry Smith. It's Wigan 16, Hull FC 0.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, knowing Ashley as we do, he's probably in the ground somewhere here with the Rugby League on his phone. A Wigan fan to his bootstraps. 33-7, 52 minutes gone. Wales have the line out in between the 10 and the 22.
Yeah, I mean, it's a masterclass from England in how to defend here. I think what phrase did you use? Dump and fan. Dump and fan. So basically throwing the opposition to the ground. Every England player on their feet and just fan across the field. No one competing for the ball, and you can just see Wales's peripheral vision is narrowing and narrowing and narrowing as they're getting more tired, and it becomes one out runner, and England are just lapping it up.
They are. They're trying to get Wales to overplay. They are. Keep the numbers on feet. When there's an opportunity, a clear, gilt-edged opportunity to turn the ball over, they are. But numbers on feet, forcing Wales to commit to the rucks. There's more English players on their feet than Wales players, but it was good for Ben Thomas there because they stopped playing when they were getting anyway and just turned Wales, put it on the foot, and good decision.
Still Wales have had loads of ball in the opening 10-12 minutes of this second half, but still trailed by plenty. Wales 7, England 33, and you feel England won't mind giving the ball to Wales and saying, come on, attack from 50, which is what Wales are doing at the moment. Thomas Williams to the left at the short side, but Azarati's not going to be able to do much there. Thomas Williams, they're game Wales, but just lacking that little bit of punch, aren't they? As Ben Thomas goes out the back to Jared Evans. That's a nice pass out to Mee. Mee kicks. It dribbles infield where it's well picked up by Roebuck. That's nice covering from the right winger as England set the ball up. Matt Dawson just inside their own 22. Right below us here, our perfect vantage point from the top tier.
Yeah, again, England look controlling that set. You feel Wales are just starting to punch themselves a little bit drunk as they're going through so many phases. You cannot commend their sort of commitment into playing this game, but goodness me, they are going to be tired in the last few sort of 10 or 15 minutes. And you think if England can just absorb all of this, get a little bit of territory you just feel they're going to have that ability to strike.
Foul play from Wales. I don't know if that was a neck roll or an illegal clear or something, Ken, but it's given a penalty to England. They're in a huddle, England. They're just taking in some air. Henry Pollock probably has had his first 5 minutes, and Tess Rugby is going, wow, that's what it's all about. Ben Smith whacks it clear, and England have snuffed out that Wales attack. That's Ben Smith. Oh, he doesn't find touch, actually. So Blair Murray goes infield to Jared Evans. Can he find some broken space? It's a nice pass out to Max Llewellyn. Llewellyn trying to stand up. Dingwall, lovely ball to Wayne right out the back. But Wales couldn't quite get away. Thomas Williams goes inside to Tommy Reffell, who is on the Leicester Tigers flanker. So Wales have it back in their sort of familiar position around the halfway line. Ben Thomas, Jared Evans, he goes, and that's been lost forward. But was it knocked on? Alex Mitchell's onto this loose ball. It's going to sit up for Mitchell. Mitchell has scored. England's sixth. A proper rope-a-dope try. They will check whether Daly knocked it on in the tackle, but Daly's celebrating as if he didn't. Everything going England's way in Cardiff. And if this is given, England will be up to 40.
There you have it. Exactly the scenario that probably Welsh fans feared. A quick turnover ball, England pounce. They will check it. It looked like it came off possibly the back of Elliot Daly.
Came off the head, I think, is it?
Off his head. Another header. But fantastic finish from Mitchell. Plenty to do, loads of pace. 55 minutes gone, there was no stopping him.
Yeah, try's been given there, satisfied the officials as we look at a replay. Another hit's come off his head again. Honestly, I know Wales are being beaten out of sight here, but if nothing's going Wales's way, every break going England out, England are good enough to capitalise.
Oh, every 50-50, every bounce of the ball has gone England's way. And but you make that look by the way you play. England have been comfortable, they've absorbed all waves of pressure in this first 15 minutes of the second half, and the first opportunity they've had, they go and get a try. It's for Wales now, staying in this game and not losing patience.
George Ford is on, his first involvement in this championship, but a man who's been playing Six Nations rugby for a decade. 99th cap for Ford, so one closer to that milestone, and not a bad time to come on. Wales 7, England 40. Alex Mitchell was with England's sixth try after Wales had all the ball in the opening 15 minutes of the second half, but attacking around the halfway line, trying to make something happen. England soaking it up, and then Daly heading it forward in the tackle. Very good finish, Alex Mitchell. As Blair Murray, who's been a bright spark for Wales and has been denied a try on 3 occasions, he tries to run it back, but whether Wales can go from 60, they're trying. Jared Evans, Ben Thomas, he goes inside to Llewellyn. Llewellyn over the halfway line. It's really breaking up, kind of end of term feel to this game. England get the penalty, their breakdown boys at it again, and even when Wales do cut the gain line, England get on the ball and force a turnover.
Ben Curry again, to be fair to him, they're just making great decisions. Dorsus mentioned there the dump and fan, but when it's on to get that turnover, they're getting it. Wales standing on the front foot, big decision. Ben Curry absolutely nails it.
That's not a normal turnover. That's not what normal people do. Wales has slightly broken the line there. They'd actually slightly broken through Ben Curry. And a great example for anyone getting a chance to watch that. Even if someone steps inside, you turn, you get back, you sprint back, you make that extra tackle, you get on your feet, you get the turnover, and you get what you deserve. Brilliant.
They've been unreal on the floor, this Six Nations, the Curry boys. Ben Curry coming of age, Tom Curry cementing his reputation. A Test Lion, Tom Curry, you'd expect, if fit and well, he'll be there again in Australia. A lot of decisions for Andy Farrell to make now, guys. You've both been on Lions tours, multiple Lions tours. Things can change so quickly. 3 or 4 weeks ago we thought it'd be all Irish, but some of these England players doing their case a world of good, admittedly, against an opposition like Wales looking increasingly forlorn as George Ford almost finds Marcus Smith. Just left it behind him. The pass maybe a bit low and a bit behind Marcus Smith. England though have it. They have 40, and they might feel they can finish the championship with an almighty flourish and keep going at Wales for the final 20 odd minutes. Alex Mitchell, who's got a try and was full of confidence. It's well tackled by Dapper Jenkins. Ellis Genge picking and going around the short side like a rugby league dummy half. As Mitchell out to Joe Hayes, the tight head prop. England 15 metres in from the right-hand touchline. Edging closer now, they're picking through the guts of Wales through Itoje. 40 points to 7 England. As Mitchell finds Ford, and Ford goes crossfield, a test of this, asking Roebuck to get it. It's on the money, Roebuck has got it, and he got it away almost to Earl. Pollock may have got on the loose ball, not quite. Oh, that seemed a pre-planned move. It was on a sixpence from Ford, and Roebuck really good in the air, and if that had gone to hand, Ben Earls under the post, and England have another one.
Yeah, you get a feeling that move was worked out in an away day. Sale versus Leicester on some little team room somewhere saying, do you know what? It's quite a nice little move there. If you've got a short fullback, Fordy will say, I'll go left, I'll box kick it back. Mr. Roebuck, fill your boots. Brilliant.
Is that Curry? Which version of that's the Ben iteration of Curry? Who? Well, one of them's good enough, but two of them. Ken, how impressed have you been by those twins?
Oh, they've been absolutely outstanding. I've been lucky to play with Tom on the Lions tour in South Africa, and I remember talking to his father, and he said, I think Ben's actually better than Tom, and that worried me. I was a bit like, because Tom's good enough, but you know, Ben's perhaps had to bide his time a little bit at test level. But he's come in. He looks an absolute naturally gifted Test rugby player, as does Tom, and they're a nightmare to play against. And Ben especially been outstanding today.
Tom Willis is on, so I think England have properly emptied their bench now. Maybe just spin Baxter to come, and Jack Van Poortvliet the 9. Wales get a nudge on. They'll get a scrum penalty here. They've got advantage. Jared Evans, they're running it from under their own sticks here, Wales. 40 points to 7 down. They get the penalty. It's referee Berry sort of saying to Wales, I don't think you're doing anything from there. But a decent scrum from the Welsh as we tick onto the hour mark. 5 Live, BBC Sounds. Wales 7, England 40. Let's go back to Wigan Hull. Matt Newsom.
Yeah, 13 to go in this first half. Wigan 16, Hull 6. A try close to the post. Series of repeat sets. Herman Esse, he was like a movable feast. He's a bulldozer of a man. He drilled his way through. Wigan 16, Hull 6.
Thanks a lot, Matt. We'll have commentary from Bournemouth Brentford in around about 20 minutes, but you've got half-time, Paul Scott.
Yep, half-time here. It's Bournemouth 1, Brentford 1. A fair reflection of an even contest. Vitaly Janelt's own goal putting Bournemouth ahead in the 17th minute. Johan Wiss's close-range header levelling matters on the half-hour. Evan Nielsen and Ryan Christie have shot wide for the home side. Vitaly Janelt shooting over for Brentford. Half-time, Bournemouth 1, Brentford 1.
Thanks a lot, Paul. Jonathan Pearce and Brandy Benali, the commentary team on Sports Extra. But we'll be picking up their commentary here on 5 Live in about 20 odd minutes, and then after that Sonia McLaughlin will present coverage ahead of France against Scotland. Sarah Orchard, Fraser Brown, our top team in the Stade de France as France go for the Six Nations title, but England are doing everything they can, leading by 40 points to 7 into the final quarter. Finn Baxter is now on as Wales. Ken Owens will have a chance. They get a penalty, they kick up to the 22.
Yeah, there's a lot of endeavour from Wales, but it's just nailing their moments. I think it's England's inaccuracies giving them opportunities. Wales just they need to take their chances when they're in the 22 now, be accurate, and try and get this crowd behind them again for the final quarter.
It's another winless Six Nations for Wales. There's been 4 desperate championships in a row for this great but flagging rugby nation. England, though, on that ball again on the floor, slowing it up as Thomas Williams finds his forwards in little pods. That bang on the 22. Ben Thomas in at first receiver quite a bit. Again, the forwards carrying with purpose, but hit hard behind the gain line. Blair Murray's trying to work something after picking up a loose ball, but he's 20 metres now behind the gain line. Stay. And if you're England, you're just saying to Wales, go on attack in this kind of part of the pitch. And England can end their Six Nations just keeping Wales at arm's length with this whopping lead by 40 points to 7. Jared Evans as Wales pile forward through Gareth Thomas, the loose head prop. Penalty though to England again at the breakdown.
I told you. Itoje, my goodness me. The cap that the armband has, it's as if it's, I don't know, it's like fueled him with some kind of superpower in this Six Nations. He has been magnificent throughout, has led on the field, off the field. I mean, I think I've watched maybe the last two minutes. There may have been 10 or 15 rucks, and Itoje has been in half a dozen of them, challenging for the ball.
His work rate is absolutely incredible. Now, been fortunate to play with and against him, and he does seem to be everywhere. You know, I think I heard Sam Warburton say he's always an 8 or 9 out of 10 performance. You know what I mean? Does a lot of the unseen work and just gets on with it.
He's won the line out. And yeah, he's been a revelation this championship, as always. Maro Itoje, very hard not to see him at lock for the Lions in Australia this summer. It'd be his third tour as a test starter. What an achievement that would be. As England peel down the right, George Ford to Dingwall. He's only 7 or 8 out. England perhaps getting a bit carried away. They wait to pick and go, but they get a penalty as Wales don't release at the ruck. So England can properly turn the screw if it's not already turned. Dingwall's carry having a tidy game. Fraser Dingwall playing at number 12. England 40, Wales 7, 16 minutes left. They'll probably sit in the corner, won't they?
You just try and wind the clock back though, Chris, over the last 10 or 12 minutes. How much control England have had without the ball, and then when they've got the ball, they've just wonderfully nudged themselves up with a penalty. Jackal with a penalty, driving maul, win another penalty. Now it's a line out 6 or 7 metres out. If we were talking about Ireland or New Zealand or South Africa, we were saying this is why they're the best team in the world. This is genuinely how to play top class rugby.
Great stuff from England as they win the line out at the tail through Itoje. Ben Earls peeling down the right of the breakdown. He's only a few metres out. England have penalty advantage. If they don't get white line fever and keep their composure, and actually they'll get another try. Cunningham South can't be much closer. A metre as Joe Hayes picks and goes round the fringe. England not quite, very close, get the penalty, no advantage. It was held up, says referee Berry. Mitchell's trying to get that ball. There's a lot of intent about England as Finn Baxter threatened to tap and go. Henry Pollock, he's always in the middle of these melees at Northampton or as an England 20s player. He's thinking, why not mix it up as a full international as well? 15 minutes to go, England 5 metres out, they lead by 40-7. Ken Owens.
They've just been really efficient second half in England. They haven't done anything particularly spectacular. They were really good, really dynamic in the first half. Second half they've come out, done what they needed to do, absorbed Wales's pressure, been good defensively and taking the chances when they've needed.
Jamie George, who hit a double top to Itoje a moment ago, one of the best line-out operators in the game, George, and he finds Tom Curry, and England set them all up. Heave is the cry. There's loads of English in the stadium having a field day. The England fans, as are the England players, as Baxter has it at the back of the breakdown. The ball didn't quite go forward as Tom Willis sets it up. There's Alex Mitchell into centre field. Lovely little short ball from Dingwall to Ben Earl, who's caught by Jared Evans. Jack Morgan hasn't been able to get any change on the floor, and he didn't get it that time either. Cunningham South, one of the try scorers. 5 metres out, advantage. Wales leaking penalties. George Ford, lovely ball. Henry Pollock! What a moment for the debutant! A perfect pass! A neat finish from the 20-year-old. His parents jumping up and down in the stand. A try-on debut for Henry Pollock. One of the future stars of English rugby is now a current star. And England have another.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant routine, brilliant system. We've used that word a few times today. England going through the reps and sets. And Henry Pollock just holding as much width as he possibly could. Let it all happen in front. Fantastic ball from Chris Jones's Lions fly half, George Ford. I've got to say, Chris, that was pretty classy.
Great finish by the young man. Great pass by George Ford as well. What I've liked about Henry Pollock, he does seem like a very excitable, likes to get involved, but he's been really mature since he's come on. He hasn't overchased rucks, he's stayed with the pattern. He's just done the nuts and bolts of the game very well, and he'll be happy with this first Test appearance. Great finish for a try on debut.
Converted by, I think Marcus Smith may have kicked the goal, so I was looking at the replay. It's been converted by someone, and Wales trail by a whopping 40-point deficit now. Wales 7, England 47. It's kind of shades of the noughties, early noughties here, when England were dominant against the Welsh. And George Ford whacks it downfield, and Blair Murray, who has desperately tried to counter-attack and could have had a couple on another day, but it's just not been Wales's day. It's been resoundingly England's. And these Welsh players, I imagine, desperately want to see the end of this one. Wales 7, England 47. Finn Baxter, Ben Earl. Oh, you don't get opportunities like this much, do you? A big lead in the Principality. The game sewn up as Smith plays a bit of territory, turns Wales around. Wales get the line out.
Love it. I mean, I know people might well be listening to this thinking, what are you talking about? Marcus Smith just stepping aside and rubber kicking it through. No, it's 47-7. There's 11 minutes to go. The one place Wales don't want to be right now, whether it's their line out or not, they don't want to be near their own 22. England can apply some more defensive pressure. Brilliant kick.
England win, Wales win the line out through Dapper Jenkins, but England then win it as Chandler Cunningham himself robs it off him. Oh, they're numbers for England. It's got to use it, put it through the hands. All those steps inside. He powers up to the 22. England are sensing they could get 50 here. Van Portfleet with a snipe. Jamie George picks and goes, England's centurion. Tom Willis has it off the loose ball. Willis is up to the line. He offloads. Joe Hayes. England do have 50. 50 points in Cardiff for England. A first Test try for Joe Hayes. And the rout continues.
That's why Marcus Smith put it on the boot and turned them. Great. Big word there for Chandler Cunningham himself, turning the ball over from David Jenkins, moving the ball, sensing the opportunity, playing on top of Wales, seeing where the space is. Jack Willis, great pick and go, and offload to Joe Hayes. Very well finished.
You do wonder, you really do wonder whether these are the occasions that define a team going forward. And you know, it's England have had their moments, of course they have, but as a performance, I can't remember going back all the way to probably 2019 in that semi-final, and there's still so much more potential. And I just like the ruthlessness of what England have done on that occasion, picking and going through the middle, because that's where the space is. I don't know what's clicked this week, but the selection from Steve Borthwick, my goodness me, spot on.
Yeah, we tried to dissect the selection. There was so much to talk about on the pods this week, and on the live show with Sonia and Alex Cuthbert last night. And Steve Borthwick, they've all been vindicated. Pollock's made an impression. Tommy Freeman scoring a try from centre. Roebuck scoring a try on his first Test start. Talking a podcast, Rugby Union Weekly out later, and then again on Monday morning, and the Nation Spot on Tuesday morning. And over on BBC Sounds now, the latest of our Sports Strangest Crime series, a special look at the Bloodgate scandal of 2009. We've really got stuck into that story, and what a sporting tale it is. The first 4 episodes are out now on BBC Sounds. As Wales kick, England gather, Tom Roebuck on the loose ball. How long have we got left? 8.5 minutes to go. Wales 7, England 54. It's the third highest England score against Wales, behind 60 points in 1998 and 62 in 2007, but that was a World Cup warm-up game, wasn't it? But England can smash all kinds of records here on a great day for English rugby. But Ken Owen, sadly, another desperate one for Wales.
No, it is sad at the moment. You know, I feel for the players. There's no lack of endeavour. You know, they've tried, they're working their heart out. It's where Welsh rugby's at the moment, and it's just really sad.
They made a change at scrum half as Rodri Williams comes on. They get through the gain line just about there. Nick Tompkins off the bench. had plenty of ball, they've had plenty of possession. It's basically 50-50 possession, Ken. When you look at the game, it's just the accuracy, the ruthlessness, those entries into the 22, the number of times England have come away with points compared to Wales, and the amount of rugby Wales have played in this part of the pitch.
It's what Wales struggle with, is crossing that gain line and getting momentum. Like you said, it's pretty much 50-50 on the possession sort of stats, but it's what's hindered them for a long time now. It's been able to cross that gain line, to get momentum, to get that speed of ball, to be able to challenge teams, and England have just managed that and controlled that gain line all day again, and as most teams have against Wales, all Six Nations.
And look at the turnover stats, Matt.
Well, with all the stats, they're actually pretty even. They're pretty, tackles made, tackles missed, penalties, rucks, but then there are some standouts. One of them being turnovers won, 8-0 to England.
That's massive, and I'd actually say England have probably only attempted 8 turnovers as well and managed to win them. Been really smart, and England have won all the big battles today.
And on the scoreboard, it's a thrashing. Wales 7, England 54. Rarely heard Swing No Sweet Chariot sung this loudly and this regularly in the Principality Stadium. England have the scrum. We're going to go to Matt at the Rugby League in a sec, but England might be able to go from 50 here as Daly slices through. Smith was on his shoulder. That would have been nice. Wales come through the ruck to spoil, and they do slow England up. And Wales get their first turnover of the game, would you believe, 74 minutes in. Right, Matt in the Rugby League.
Yeah, it looks like Wigan are on course for the quarter-finals. There's still a big 40 to come. They lead Hull by 22 points to 6. Captain Liam Farrell, the latest to cross the stripe with a typically forthright carry. Wigan 22, Hull FC 6.
Yeah, shame that the planned move from the scrum didn't quite link in. Marcus Smith charging in, anticipating an offload from Elliot Daly. He didn't quite get his body in a position where he could unleash the out the back pass. Gives Wales an opportunity for set piece attack.
Well, they won the line out, then the connection from the receiver to the scrum half broke down. I mean, Ken, Wales haven't scored a point in the second half, have they?
No, and they've had plenty of opportunities. They've had a lot of time in England's 22, but when it's mattered, there's been that one bit of an inaccuracy. An overthrow at a line out, a steal at a line out, a knock on, from Rodri Williams there from the delivery. And it's just tough. They're the moments that make a massive difference to give you a foothold in the game.
It was actually a penalty. Referee Berry spotted England taking out the jumper, taking out the arm of the Welsh jumper, so they do get a penalty, so maybe that's why it all broke down, because of England's infringement. Into the final 5 minutes of both these sides' Six Nations campaign. Wales 7, England 54. Wales looking for their first points of this second half, which only has a few minutes left to run. Bournemouth against Brentford. Coventry on the way from the Vitality, but can Wales get something just to get their loyal and long-suffering fans on their feet, albeit temporarily? 4 metres out with the rolling ball, Wales. Rodri Williams, the scrum half, looking for it, being told to use it by Berry. I don't know if they're going to be able to get this out, Wales. Yes, they have. Rodri Williams, Ben Thomas first receiver, short ball set up by Tompkins. England creep offside. Rodri Williams to Dowie Lakouch around the corner, the Wales replacement hooker. Good to see him back fit and playing after missing the first few rounds with injury. Wales are under the English crossbar, but England will be desperate to keep them out and continue to flex their muscles here, England, who lead by 54-7 as Wales through Jared Evans. He shaped to go left, then he went right. 5 metres out still, Wales, as Wainwright picks and tries, but Pollock is all over him, one of the many try scorers for England today. England will want to keep them out here, Matt, won't they?
They'll be desperate not to concede a try on this set. Probably still advantage to Wales, is it? But England are just nudging Wales back metre by metre. Wales just can't get quick enough ball.
That's nice though, Jared Evans.
There you go.
And Ben Thomas in for a second. Nicely done, Wales. Far too little and far too late. But some Wales fans are on their feet. Some haven't got up. You can't blame them after what's happened today. But a second try for Wales. They finally got something in the second half. Ben Thomas with a double.
Now that connection's worked really well since Jared's come back into the squad and Ben Thomas moved to 12. It gives Jarrett can play so flat in the line and make good passing decisions, and Ben Thomas is our second receiver. You know, it's worked really well. It's worked a couple of times today, and Ben Thomas got his second try of the match.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to turn around as a Welsh management and say you've got regrets around selection when it's 14 points to 54, but you can't help think that maybe that was an error, not playing Jared Evans to start the game with that. If Wales wanted to play this intensity and very flat to the line, Jared was the man. But saying that, England have been utterly magnificent throughout the whole game.
And hard to single out individuals from an England point of view, but Ben Curry is player of the match. I think you guys would agree deservedly.
Oh, definitely. He's been physical. He's got turnovers. You know, he's carried well. He's fully deserving. He's probably been the best of a really good bunch, to be fair.
Well, he's had to wait a while. He was telling us on the Rugby Union Weekly before the Ireland game, when he got a start alongside his brother, he had to bide his time, watch Tom go on to great things with World Cup semi-finals and finals and Lions test matches. He had to watch and be happy for his twin brother, but knowing, you know, I think I can do that too. And now he's showing what he's all about, Ben Curry. His brother's going the distance, Tom, and he sets it up as he can look for one more score as Ford throws another beauty off his left to Roebuck, who's stepping dangerously off his right. Good power from Roebuck. Big man into the 22. Van Porpley, Ford, lovely inside ball. Pollock's getting another one. It's a dream debut for Pollock on a dream day for England. One more score to cap an absolute rout in Cardiff, and Henry Pollock on debut has got a double.
Manipulation from England. George Ford zipping out wide balls off his left hand to find his teammate at Sale Roebuck, and then because of the way that England are stretching Wales and England are recycling the ball so quick, George Ford and his vision and his ability to find those holes with players around him, brilliant.
He's made an impact since coming on, George Ford, doesn't he? He showed you what he can do. We can see why Chris Jones is waxing lyrical about for the Lions.
Marcus Smith kicks the goal. Is there time for a restart? England have gone past 60. Their highest score against Wales in the Championship, 62 in 2007. That World Cup warm-up. So all kinds of records being smashed today. And Ken, we don't want to labour the point, although sadly we're going to have to talk about it on the post-match pod and in the post-match and the build-up with Sonia as we go through to the late game. It's the fifth time, another Ross Petty stat, the fifth time Wales have conceded 50 in Cardiff. All of them have come since autumn 2021, which really reveals the decline that's happened over the last few years. And then the rudderlessness continues as Wales don't manage to go 10 from the kick-off. England will get one more scrum. The camera pans to Steve Borthwick, probably his most satisfying day in the England job, I think.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I think, and of course the performance and the result and where we are. Wow, yeah, this is a day to remember. If you're an England player, an England fan, you have got to cherish these moments. The fact that the stadium is emptying at a rate of knots, but not just the performance. I think the selection, I think the week that Steve's had on the back of, you know, some indifferent performances but winning performances, this is a massive step forward for England and something that they can hold. It's tangible now, the way that they play and the identity they have.
And there are England fans all around the stadium, arms aloft, singing Swing Low Sweet Chariot. How often do you see this in Cardiff as Ford's off again? He finds Ben Earl, who's in the midfield and making metres. Van Porpley, they are fizzing England as Smith piles into the 22. England can break their record score against Wales as Cunningham South takes it. Earl enjoying himself in the midfield. They're only 15 metres out, England. Tom Willis, offload. Maro Itoje's up to the line. The England skipper, 3 metres out. Van Porpley, one more carry. Chandler Cunningham South. England have got another one, would you believe? 2 for Chandler Cunningham South. Delirious scenes for England. A dream day for them. Disaster for Wales. A record score for England against their fierce rivals. Chandler Cunningham South to come.
Midfield scrum. A midfield scrum, 83 minutes gone on the clock. And you know, we talk about confidence and what it can do for you going forward. The fact that George Ford is saying, give me the ball and let's play, because we are in that zone, and very rarely do you find yourself in those types of zones, and you've got to make the most of every minute of it, every second of it. And that's what England just did there. It was relentless, it was accurate, and rubbing noses in, salt in the wound, whatever you want to say, but from England that is clinical.
It's been ruthless as well. The top teams, they're ruthless, and England have come down here today and could have been a potential banana skin. People going, Wales have got to win at some point. It was all built up, and they've just come, they've been ruthless, and they put a performance in.
Marcus Smith whacks over the goal. Wales 14, England 68, a famous day for English rugby, but perhaps the lowest of ebbs for Wales. And any mid-tournament optimism there may have been has been smashed to pieces in the Principality. The camera panned to Steve Borthwick, rare to see him smile so widely, and then it panned to one of the greats of Welsh rugby, the assistant coach Adam Jones, who looked simply desolate. The players shake hands. It's been an absolute annihilation. Wales 14, England 68. England go to the top of the Six Nations table and they say to France, over to you. And if France slip up, England will be champions. And Matt Dawson, they've saved their best for last.
I mean, this performance is, it's just out of out of this world, out of this season. I did not see England being able to come together so quickly. I mean, we have spoken about this. I think we've touched on the fact that this group of players look a little bit different than maybe other England squads have been, and we've touched on they're going in the right direction and backing them for the World Cup and being genuine contenders for the World Cup. But there is not a chance that I saw England getting to this level of performance away in Cardiff at the end of this Six Nations. Every credit to every single player, squad member, coaching staff and the like, because if England are going to play like this, never mind Wales and what position they've been in, if England can play to this type of level week in, week out, they are going to threaten in this competition and others going forward without question. And I'm not being flippant because of the scoreline. We have to put into perspective how awesome England were at times today, and I know that's going to hurt a lot of our Welsh listeners, but England were absolutely brutal at times today.
We're going to go to the football shortly, but one more on England before we get Ken's view on Wales. Against Italy there were patches, but then they would let Italy in and the momentum would swing, and they weren't able to keep going all the time and stay on top of Italy. Was that one of the things that pleased you most, the fact that it was pretty constant from England, the pressure they applied to Wales and the way they never let Wales get back into the game?
Well, let's take the second half out of the way, because that was one-way traffic. All right, the game was done at 33-7 at half-time. England needed to absorb Wales's first 5 minutes of that second half. The real focal point for me were England at 14-0. They get to, they had a try Wales had a try disallowed. Wales got back to 14-7. England were going off script. They were getting loose, and then something was said within that squad, and there was just like this visual attraction to their game plan to say, oops, sorry, let's get back to it. And that's not come from the touchline, that's not come from the coaches, that's come from the players. And how many times have we spoken about going into half-time and England coming out at half-time and being better because the coaches have taught them through things? England sold this on the pitch and sold it big time, and that is a massive step forward.
And Ken, for Wales, I mean, we've been through the stats that we've been getting from Russ, but it's the second most points conceded ever in Wales's history after that 96 points in Pretoria in the late 90s. It's 2 wins out of 21 in the Six Nations, and it's probably the lowest point. There were comparisons before the game with 2013 because of the way Wales were able to crush England's spirit. It's been the other way round 12 years on.
No, it has. There was a lot of optimism. There has been after the last couple of games. And we have to believe. We have to get behind something in Wales. But, it's a dark day. It's tough to watch. I can't and I won't question the players' efforts, because I think, they're trying their heart out there. They're putting the 3 feathers on their chest, and they're going for 80 minutes. It's probably the level of where we're at now. We just can't match teams physically, can't cross that gain line to give the likes of Jared Evans, Ben Thomas, our outside backs an opportunity to test, because we can't quite win that physical battle. And especially when we come up against the big teams, the physical teams, they're able to absorb us like England did at periods in that second half. They were comfortable, they defended really well, really smart, conserved their energy, and when the opportunity came, they hit us, and that's the sad fact of where we are in Welsh rugby at the moment.
Yeah, big defeat for Wales. Wales 14, England 68, a record defeat at home to England. So much now for Wales to ponder, for the WRU to think about as they try to appoint a new director of rugby and a new head coach. So much for the WRU to think about. But it's been England's day. They finished the championship with 4 straight wins. They're on top of the log at the moment, and they've had their best finish. Whatever happens in Paris later, they've had their best finish in a championship now in 5 years. But they can still win it. Commentary from 8 o'clock. We'll start the build-up around about 7:15 with Sonia